waste so much time and money on dumb shit.
Yep. We do.
Talladega. One more thing before we get out of here. But at Talladega, it's never one more big thing. It's 43 big things lined up, door handle to door handle, if they had doors, bumper to bumper, in the world's fastest speedway. Yellowwood 500 weekend is coming October 23rd through the 25th. You can get your tickets right now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. 877-GO-TO-DEGA for tickets. Always content that is super with people watching. You could take 1,000 Instagram pictures and post them of just people walking by in different outfits. It is a fun event. Both of them in Talladega. The fall race is fantastic. It's part of the playoffs. Yellowwood 500, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Finally, over the weekend, this made news, and it made more news yesterday because they've sold out of it. Akron offered season ticket holders, people that bought their suites, that one lucky person of their suite holders would get to work with their head coach, Joe Moorhead, who used to be at Mississippi State. In fact, he's being interviewed right now on McAfee.
Oh, yeah. Shaved his mustache.
Robert Morris is their home opener. If you bought one of the suites, then you would be eligible to help design the opening drive of the Robert Morris game. In works with Joe Moorhead. You and him would collab, if you will, on that opening drive. Well, give me Forrester's mic. Forrester, did anybody buy any of these suites for the Akron Zips?
Apparently so. They've sold out of them.
Oh, it worked.
Hey, do you think anybody would be boring and just run?
Fullback dive, fullback
Man,
dive.
I would throw so many, Joe Moorhead be so pissed.
It would be 4 verts.
Yeah. What would be your first play?
We're going to go play action and then go up top. And Joe's going to tell we haven't even established the run yet. I don't care. It's Robert Morris.
Yeah, I might run the Philly special.
Yeah.
I'm going
right out of the shoot. Quarterback gets
lining up and play action. Quarterback scrambles out for 30 yards.
Yeah. I'm
that would work.
Very boring. Shotgun, and I'm crossing over the middle.
You're
going to do crosses?
I'm always a cross route guy. I'm a Mike Leach protege.
Try to pick off that defender.
Yeah,
run people off.
I get this. It's a MAC team. It's hokey, but if you're able to, generate some revenue. What I didn't like last year when USC lets, a Penn State guy run them out of the tunnel.
Yeah, that was worse than this, no doubt.
That is crazy. That's our show today. Camps continue. More updates coming. We're back with you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central Time for a Friday show. Interesting read from Ryan McGee, super villains in the history of college football. We're going to come up with our own list for the show tomorrow of our super villains off the Ryan McGee story.
Because I like Ryan, but I think the list is not good.
Okay, a not good list from Ryan McGee made better by us. We'll literally do our own list tomorrow on the show. Until next time, God bless you. God bless America.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
When you trust a doctor with your life, they owe you proper care. If medical negligence left you or a loved one injured, you deserve answers and compensation. Alexander Shunnarah trial attorneys have recovered over $2 billion for their clients harmed by medical errors, misdiagnoses, and surgical mistakes. They fight hospitals and insurance companies so you can focus on healing. Don't wait. Medical malpractice cases have strict deadlines in Alabama. Call Alexander Shunnarah trial attorneys now for a free consultation. 659-777-7777 or alexwins.law. You pay nothing unless they win. Physical office location, Birmingham.
The 2026 Yellowwood 500 weekend is returning to the Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 23rd through Sunday, October 25th. The triple-header chase weekend at Talladega features 3 days of high-intensity racing across 3 series, capping off with the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Guarantee your spot now by visiting TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. And enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience, the most immersive in NASCAR. 877-GO-TO-DEGA or TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Alabama quarterbacks, Auburn staying in a spa, villains in college football. That's what everybody in college football is talking about right now, those three topics. We'll get to all those coming up. But listen, I know what it was last night. I mean, I know it was the first of a boatload of exhibition football games that don't count, and I can't stand games that don't count. But my goodness, that was a fun game that didn't count last night.
You couldn't, if you just watched it not knowing, there's no way you thought that was an exhibition game.
No, and like if that's a regular season game, the drama from start to finish.
We'd be saying, was that our game of the year already? Did we already have our game of the year?
Is
it possible the Cardinals and Panthers could play our game of the year?
Is it possible that an exhibition game, when it's all said and done, could be a top 10 game of the year? I mean, we were hungry, obviously.
Yeah, but it was good football.
Yeah, but I mean, both those teams almost went over the total themselves. Total's only 34.5. You typically don't see a lot of scoring.
That's right. Usually defense, everybody's sluggish on offense.
And the things that really jumped for me is Carson Beck, a guy that I said a couple of years ago, he will be the number one overall pick one day. He goes in the third round, didn't have the year a lot of people believed he would have, although he played for a national championship, 55, collegiate starts. I mean, this guy, you put him in the pecking order of big games at Georgia, Miami, playoffs, like that Hall of Fame game. I mean, the lights weren't big. He didn't think that was a big stage. No. He went out, played his ass off. You look at former third-round guys. Joe Montana was a third-round guy. Dan Fouts was a third-round guy. Russell Wilson was a third-round guy. I'm not saying...
not putting him in this class, but wasn't Dak Prescott a third-round guy?
Yeah, he was, absolutely.
I thought he was like fourth or fifth.
Oh, I thought he was third.
He might have been third. He might have been third. Anyway, I'm just saying, he looks to me more like a Matt Hasselbeck, who Matt Hasselbeck started 11 postseason games and took Seattle to their first Super Bowl in Super Bowl 40.
Horrible at coin tosses, but other than that.
Yeah. I think Carson Beck, based on their quarterback situation right now, is going to get some opportunities. I don't know how early that will be, but on the flip side, an undrafted free agent and Haynes King, we saw what he was able to do with his legs at A&M to Georgia Tech and what he did last night. Not only on that final play, but for the entire game. I am just shocked. If Haynes King would have stayed at A&M, it would have really gotten focused in. We saw how good he was at Tech at times.
Yeah, no, they would have gone deeper in the playoffs. They probably wouldn't lose to Miami in the first round. Dak, a fourth-round draft pick 135. So apologies on that. But, I mean, if I'm a Cardinals fan today.
I don't think we need to apologize for
apologies to the Prescott family.
to make him go earlier in the draft.
I suppose.
If he was at third and we said fourth, then we could apologize.
Yes. If I'm a Cardinals fan, after last night, I look at that and I say, we're in the hardest division in football. We would all agree that's the most difficult division in football.
They said that once or 10 times last night.
Yeah, they're not wrong.
I think for the three elite teams, like the most balanced, because you can look at the NFC North right now with Chicago, Detroit, Minnesota, Green Bay. All four of those teams could actually win the division. But the best.
If you're Arizona, it certainly feels like the hardest division in football.
For sure.
Yeah. So I know I'm probably not winning that division even in the best of times. And would I rather start Teddy Bridgewater or Carson Beck? I mean,
Jacoby Brissett.
I'm sorry, Jacoby Brissett, not Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to. I'd rather
wouldn't want to start Teddy either.
Yeah,
but Jacoby Brissett or Carson Beck? Give me Carson Beck. I mean, Jacoby Brissett is a journeyman NFL backup. Let me just see what Carson Beck can do.
I mean, and Brissett held out for a little bit and finally got paid, and he's making finally 8 figures as a starting quarterback, but he's a bridge. He's a stopgap.
Yeah,
that's all he is right now. You've got a rookie head coach. I think we'll see a lot of Carson Beck this year. Will he play at that level? Probably not, but he might. I mean, you think about second best tight end in football in Trey McBride, Jeremiah Love coming in, who can do absolutely everything out of the backfield. I mean, he might be the next great running back. We'll see. And then Marvin Harrison Jr., who hasn't played up to the potential yet, but still a really solid receiver. So he's got some weapons around him.
A lot of ones not on the field, though.
Yeah, but you're playing as Collinsworth or Tirico one pointed out. I get what everybody's going to say. He's playing against backups, but he's also playing with backups on Carson Beck.
He is. I would only say that he threw a couple balls into some tight windows that when the ones are out there, those are not tight windows.
That window's
those
not
are
there.
incompletes or interceptions.
Yeah, that window was not there. You're right.
Sometimes, but I thought he looked great too. I'm not saying he's not going to be great. I'm just saying before we crown him as the starter, or that he would be better than Jacoby Brissett, and I know what Brissett is and isn't. Let's just wait till we see him against the ones and see how it speeds up a little bit. But you're exactly right. You watch that game, and he's he's at a stadium that you can see the interstate from down on the field, and you can see the guy in the last row, and you could probably talk to him in the last row. That moment wasn't too big for him. He's played in 20 games bigger than that.
It really is kind of a sad atmosphere because you would think, playing that game in Canton, I guess they've got the Browns and they've got the Bengals across the state. Like, if you play that game in Birmingham, I would think we'd sell it out. There'd be big tailgates.
We would, yeah. I mean, Protective would sell out to go see an exhibition game between the Panthers and the Cardinals.
Well, I mean, that's 45,000. How many does that one hold
Benson?
last night? Probably 30?
Yeah, not a lot. But, I mean, it never looks full. It looks like people are more interested in everything but the game, which I get because it is the first game of the year. Thing I don't like is the fact that we've got to wait till next Thursday for more games. A full week.
I do.
Sprinkle a couple.
Well, you've been waiting all summer.
Yeah.
I'm with you. But
by the way, we did have the Panthers last night. It's 1.5, so we are off to a 1-0 start.
Did you? I thought of you when Haynes, 2 touchdowns and then the one at the clock when it goes 0 to get in to win it, and he's gonna, he's fighting to be their number 3 behind Bryce and Kenny Pickett. Did you think for a second a little Taysom Hill that can I get an athlete like Haynes King on the field?
Could he do other things?
Can he play a little tight end? Do you have a package for him inside?
I don't think so.
You know what Bryce Young isn't good at? Bryce Young isn't good on if it's 4th and 1. You can't run it with Bryce Young. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point.
Yeah, I'll tell you who Haynes King could end up being. And they're different players, but he could be a guy that is actually on the Cardinals roster right now that we didn't see last night in Gardner Minshew. Yeah. Like, just good enough to, be in the right situation and get 7 or 8 starts if somebody goes down. But I think Haynes King's got a good shot. And I'll tell you another thing. This is why I really believe not only the way he performed last night and the different dynamic with his legs, every time he came off the field, Bryce Young, your starting quarterback, was so just like impressed and so energetic and so supportive of Haynes King. So that shows me in camp they've already got a rapport. He likes this kid, and if he's talking to Dave Canales and whoever their quarterback coach is, and hey, I think this guy's got potential.
Well, let's be honest. You guys keep me around because of the 3 of us, both of you can beat me in what we do for a living. I mean, I'd be excited too if I was Bryce Young because I'm like, if he's behind me on the depth chart, I know he ain't passing me.
Did y'all notice that though last night with Bryce? I mean, Bryce was out there all the time.
Yeah.
I mean,
you be the number 3
jersey
guy.
on. I mean, he looked like the high school kid who still had his jersey on. And when Haynes King scores, he was leading the charge off the sideline.
I did love that the whole team ran out there. That was fantastic.
That's big for those guys. I know
Bryce is like, small hands, Kenny Pickett, Haynes King.
Yes.
I love you guys being
that is what's
QB2, QB3 because everybody's pulling me out on Sunday.
Kenny Pickett is a guy that actually was in the playoffs a few years ago, a guy that started a full season for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he didn't look nearly as good as either one of those guys, and Carson Beck and Haynes King.
I think what you're saying, Lance, is that the guys who get a lot of starts and a lot of games in college football, and it'll be something to watch with Ty Simpson, who only got 1 season. And he's doing well in camp now. I've seen him sort of turn the corner. I've seen the headlines and I've seen the video. But Ty Simpson played 1 year. Carson Beck started a lot of games and won a lot of games. Haynes King played in a lot of football games, won some big ones. The moments, at least last night, not too big for them. We'll see what it is when they get into real games.
And, Matt Stafford, a guy that's 37 years old, I'm terrified because people are starting to say, Ty Simpson's going to be the backup. Back to a guy that started a lot of games at Georgia and massive games was Stetson Bennett. And he has really, according to Rams camp, picked up this offense going into year 3. And I think Stetson Bennett would be a really, really good NFL quarterback in the right situation. And I think the Rams could be the right situation. So, I still, if Matthew Stafford, for whatever reason, went down, I would 1,000% want Stetson Bennett to be the starting quarterback.
And I know I'm an old man. I get that I'm old. But that LaFleur cat looks like a movie about a kid that won the opportunity to coach an NFL team. I mean, is he 12?
Yeah. Well, he's the younger brother of the Packer coach,
I'm
right?
aware of that, but how much younger? I mean, that guy, first of all, he's kind of small. Like when Melissa Stark was interviewing him at the half, I don't know if it was the forced perspective, but she's taller than him. I don't know how tall Melissa is. Have you ever stood next to Melissa Stark?
Like in reality or in my dreams?
And I mean, he was shorter than her. And man, every time they showed him on the sidelines, he looked like a kid.
Yeah, I've got Melissa Stark at 5'8", in heels, I got her at 5'10". Barefoot, I'd have her
Oh,
at
yeah,
5'9"
you
and
would.
a half.
Yeah.
5'9" and a half.
Yeah. Melissa Stark, though, was taller than him. And I'm like, this is a short guy, and he looks young, man.
I'll tell you, back to the LaFleurs, though. I mean, it's coming from the Sean McVay
there's
coaching
no doubt.
tree.
There's no doubt.
And you just wonder how many people he gets jobs now from Liam,
I thought the
Liam
same
Cohen.
thing. Yeah.
I mean, Kevin O'Connell. I mean,
Like,
they're all out there.
I met the dad this way back. You guys remember when I went to the MAC game at Central Michigan, and we have a friend, a guy named Michael Alford, who is now the athletics director at Florida State. At the time, he was the athletics director at Central Michigan. And he invited me over to the team hotel when I got into town, and he introduced me to the LaFleur's dad. And at the time, he was like, his son, Tel Lance, his son is on the staff of the Rams. I think he was already on the staff of the Rams at the time. LaFleur was the oldest one. And I remember thinking, oh, that's pretty cool. And now both those kids are NFL coaches.
How many
It's crazy?
How many head coaches in the NFL and in Power 4 football right now has come from the Sean McVay tree? This is pretty incredible. I've got it right here.
If you're scoring at home, last night was the Cardinals playing the Panthers, and we've gone to Stafford. Stafford's back up to McVay. McVay's coaching
You
tree.
brought up Mike LaFleur.
Yeah.
But how many head coaches in the NFL first? There's
In
only
the
one
NFL,
Power 4.
5. McVay plus 4.
Well, I mean, 2 have lost their job, but 7.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way it goes.
And
though.
then Jed Fish with Washington.
the guy you don't like.
Mike LaFleur is 5'9".
Okay, believable.
Wow.
Melissa Stark is 5'4" and a half.
She wears some heels.
Yeah, I don't know if
Yeah,
she had him
'cause-
on last
'cause-
night, but
Well, she was taller than him, but again, it could have just been the camera angle. I don't know.
yeah, she could have been on a box.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Never know.
That's the NFL last night. We had signing news earlier in the day. As projected, Jahmyr Gibbs is now the highest paid running back in the National Football League, the former Alabama and Georgia Tech, right? Georgia Tech running back,
Yep.
Jahmyr Gibbs. 3-year, $67.5 million. Most of that guaranteed, $22.5 million per year, slightly more than what Bijan Robinson and Jonathan Taylor have gotten this week. So a big contract for Jahmyr Gibbs. And you've said it a couple of times, very worth every penny of it.
Yeah, worth every penny. I mean, he's a touchdown machine. And if Detroit's going to get back to where they were just a couple of years ago, it's going to be about the offense. It's going to be about Gibbs. Their defense has got what looks to be some serious holes right now. So they're going to go out there and try to outscore everyone. I don't know about you guys. When Gibbs went from Georgia Tech to Alabama, we heard this enormous buzz coming out of camp. Like, this guy is electric. And we saw it at times. I never would have projected him as being the highest paid running back in NFL history.
I would not have either. I just remember when he got to Alabama, everybody was like, this guy is a fast running back. Like, his speed will blow you away.
And could catch it out of the backfield.
Yeah.
Except
for one play. And
last
you were about to
play
say.
Hey, it is pretty great. And I saw where, is it Chris Mahler?
Yeah, Chris Marley.
I
Vern
saw
Funquist.
where, he sent out a tweet today, talking about Gibbs. Like, can you imagine that Alabama was in a tie game or a one-possession game in Knoxville and Gibbs didn't get a carry that final drive? Now, he did have the drop, which is still crazy.
He still tried to get it in his hand.
He catches that 99 out of 100 times, but it is pretty nuts. He didn't get a
Yeah.
Yeah, that is
Get a
kind of
carry.
wild.
What was DeBoer and that coaching staff thinking? Oh, wait, it was Nick Saban and his coaching staff that did that. Not always perfect, I guess.
Bill O'Brien.
I mean, how good is Forrester doing this show here? Look at this. I mean, you got the squeeze back with the picture there. Look at that, the graphic package.
$67.5 million 3 years is nuts.
Yeah.
I mean,
And it's got dollars flying by.
in 3 full years, how many touchdowns do you think Gibbs has got?
In the
NFL,
NFL in
yeah.
3 full years, I will go 48.
Wow.
Is that the number?
49.
Thank you.
49.
I mean, that's a damn lot of touchdowns.
That's a ton of
in 3
time. I
years,
knew
yeah.
he had a lot. That's why I went.
Because you go
there.
back to
Yeah.
like a guy like Julio Jones who
Oh,
would
yeah,
have
he would
6
score
or 7
like,
a year.
6 a year, and you'd be like, "What's wrong with him?"
Okay, so we'll switch to Alabama and Auburn camp here after we discuss the NFL there. Buzz out of camp about another Alabama running back. That's up next here. The show being brought to you today on the drive into a weekend by our friends at Hoover Toyota, hoovertoyota.com.
Yeah, if you're in the market for new or pre-owned, whether it's a car, SUV, or truck, our friends at Hoover Toyota, they got the best inventory out there. They're going to roll the red carpet program out for you. They've been doing that for 2 decades, not only in Birmingham, Alabaster, Vestavia as well. They want to make sure they retain you as a customer for life. Again, the on-site finance department headed by Kim is fantastic. Stop in, see the great folks right there, conveniently located Highway 150 in Hoover. Tell Scott Peoples and everyone at Hoover Toyota the next round sent you. For more information and to view the inventory today, go online, hoovertoyota.com.
Most of the time, the vast majority of time, when you need legal assistance, it means something just is not going right in your life or around your life, and you need the best you can get, and that is our guy, Alexander Shunnarah. Whatever you face in the legal world, Shunnarah.com is the place you go, Shunnarah.com. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case with Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys. And boy, do they win cases. More than $2 billion recovered for their clients. $2 billion with Alexander Shunnarah. That's why we tell you, whatever you face, not just personal injury, but bad drug and device claims, fire and storm damage, employment, workers' compensation, the list goes on and on and on. You start at Shunnarah.com, Shunnarah.com.
All right, so we remember the Jahmyr Gibbs buzz when he was in Tuscaloosa. How about Xavier Crowell, the new super freshman from, I believe, Jackson? That's where he's from, down in South Alabama. Here's OC Ryan Grubb yesterday after Alabama practice as they worked through day 2 of camp, talking about the buzz around Crowell.
EJ's young, super explosive, runs out over his toes, has good balance. He's thick with the ball. He runs physical. He runs bigger than he is. He's got speed in the long end. He's just got to learn the game. He's got to learn how to practice full speed all the time. He's a great kid. He wants to do it. He loves being here. He's an Alabama guy. But he's physical. He's tough. He's got great hands. Sky's the limit for him. But he's got to learn the game. He's got to know how to practice, and he's got a good shot.
Okay, so we went back twice.
Yep.
Twice. They got to learn how to practice.
Yeah, I mean, that tells you, and you get this a lot of time in freshmen. We always talk of freshman running backs about they got to learn to pick up the blitz and things like that. They never have to do that in high school. But one thing you get with a lot of stud freshmen is their high school coach may not have made them work harder than everybody else. And sometimes it's because some of the smaller schools, he might have been playing both ways. So you got to let him.
Could have been.
You got to let him rest a little bit. I don't know that that's the case in Crowell's situation.
Well, and at that level, I mean, he makes it look easy. I mean, those guys just stand out from everyone else on the team. And so he probably did get preferential treatment. And now you go into a situation where it's 1,000 degrees in Tuscaloosa and they're wanting to work your ass off. And he's probably like, damn.
Boy, I did not have to do this at Jackson.
This is a culture change.
When do I stand and watch? I'm not able to do that.
Yeah, water. Anybody.
Yeah.
But I do think when, he learns the offense and he is able to pass pro, like things will really slow down and then practice will get a little easier. It's probably just so much thrown at him immediately.
Yeah, I mean, day 2 of camp, you're coaching them up, you're putting them under stress and everything. When you get into game 1 or game 2, eventually you're going to say, gosh, you know who we need on the field? I know he hasn't been practicing every period as hard as we want him to, but we sort of need the 5-star running back.
Yeah. I mean, I would be absolutely shocked. Even if he struggles in pass protection, as long as he doesn't lie the ball on the ground, as long as ball security is not a problem, I'd be shocked if he's not out there.
Thick with the ball was one of the things he said, so that sounds like he's protecting the ball pretty well.
I always go back to Sean Alexander, who was in the doghouse so many times early on in his career with Gene Stallings and that coaching staff. Was it Stallings?
No.
No, it was
Oh, no, Alexander early on with Stallings.
Yeah, it was early on.
Yeah, 96 when he had the LSU game. Yeah.
So early on it was with Stallings. And that LSU game, they finally put him out there. They had to put him out there. And he went off, and you couldn't take him off. I don't care how hard he practiced anymore.
Yeah.
He couldn't take him off.
I never talked to anybody that described Sean Alexander as a hard practicer at Alabama, but there was never a game where you were like, God, freaking Alexander. I mean, he was one of the best in Alabama history.
Tough. Should have practiced harder this week.
Yeah, I mean, if Crowell,
let's go.
And if he plays up to his potential, I mean, he can probably go back to, just.
I would imagine you can. I mean, if you're dedicated, Lance, I mean, you could learn this. I mean, all the superlatives he added, all the superlatives. There was really only one negative, right? He's got to learn to practice.
Yep.
So, I mean, you had a ton of good in that soundbite.
You see them working over in Tuscaloosa. And another storyline, of course, is the quarterback battle, QB1. And here is Ryan Grubb on the timeline on when to name QB1.
If memory serves, you named Ty the starter after the first scrimmage last year. Do you anticipate needing both scrimmages to make that decision this year?
Yeah, I think we probably will. Just younger guys, making sure we got every ounce of data we need. But if it's the first scrimmage, it's the first scrimmage. If we feel good about that after that point, then we'll name that. Obviously, the longer your team can have their starter name, the better off you are. We don't worry about the other team and who they know it is or isn't. We just want to make sure we make the right decision.
From what I'm told, no separation. Is
there good no separation or bad no separation?
No, it's good.
It's good no separation.
No separation.
Okay.
They're comfortable with both of them. Again, Kalen Russell making plays, Austin Mack, steady Eddie. Comfortable with both of them. No separation yet.
You guys tell me, and we've talked about this a couple of times, the last time we had a true quarterback battle going into first, second, third week of the season. Remind me of those, because I think what's going to happen here, if Austin Mack gets started, I think a lot of Alabama fans are going to be deflated. And I think if Austin struggles at all, you will hear more bitching about put in Kalen. Oh. Like, when was the last time you had that situation?
But it's going to be the same thing, though. If Kalen starts and he struggles, then people are going to be like, you should have gone with Austin Mack.
Maybe, but it feels a little bit different because everybody, I think, Brown, correct me if I'm wrong, the last couple of years, everybody's like, the future is Russell. The future is Russell.
No, I've
I don't think anybody projected Austin Mack to ever start at Alabama.
I'm with you. I mean, I think they never dreamt he would have played as much as he had to play in the Rose Bowl, much less be a starter at Alabama, because I think everybody thought you'd go from Ty Simpson right to Kalen Russell. And I think a lot of people thought Mack would probably punch out and go elsewhere. I think there was a belief among some fans that would be the case. And he, to his credit, he's seen it through, and he may end up being the starter. I don't know. To answer your question, I mean, we always go back, I think, to McCarron and Phillip Sims, right? Was that the last time that there was a legitimate, I don't really know who's going to be the starter early on battle? Because you can't go really back to
Blake Barnett
and Hurts, because that lasted like 3 series for Barnett, and then Hurts never gave it up until Tua took it. And you can't really go to Cooper Bateman. That was a...
No, it's the Coker
Bateman.
No,
that's what I'm just saying you can't do. Because
wasn't it Coker Sims? It was Coker Sims.
It was
in 14.
No, that was Phillip Sims and AJ McCarron.
No,
you're thinking Blake Sims. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Blake
different
Sims.
Sims. Blake Sims. In 2014, probably. Yeah, probably. And Blake Sims started the 1 year, and then when Coker came in, the whole Cooper Bateman thing was Kiffin didn't like Coker.
Yeah.
And he convinced Saban, let me try this other guy, and it was a complete disaster.
One more Alabama camp thing that means nothing, but I find it very interesting, and I don't expect everyone to be looking at depth charts or really care about what class in school teams players are. But a little point here after I remind you the show being brought to you in part today by our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing. That's Greg from Pell City. He and his wife, Andrea, they own the company, locally owned for over 20 years, approaching 30 years now. This is his cell number that you see on the screen if you're on the audio only at Spotify or wherever you get your podcast. Here's the number, 205-542-3531, 542-3531. You can actually text that. That's his cell number. Or call him and say, hey, I want a free no-cost roof inspection. That's what he'll give you, a free no-cost roof inspection so you can find out what's going on in your roof. Roof replacement, storm damage repairs. He does it all. But, I mean, do you have any loose shingles up there that are causing water entry points, bad fits around valves and pipes or anything around chimneys? He can let you know what's going on in your roof and give you great deals with your insurance providers as well, because he has great relationships with them. StormRestorationRoofing.com is the website. Greg from Pell City, 205-542-3531. Projected starting offensive line and the twos. So 10 offensive linemen in Tuscaloosa that are likely to play. Without giving you names, I'll just go tackle to tackle on the projected starters right now. True sophomore, redshirt sophomore, redshirt junior, sophomore, redshirt junior. Add on the backups 2 juniors, 2 redshirt freshmen, and a sophomore. How many seniors did you hear?
That was 0.
0 seniors. Many times this summer, we have told you that this roster, despite losing some players after this year, is built to be really good next year.
People don't want to hear it.
Yeah,
I've heard the same with Clemson. Like, yeah, this is going to be another kind of very average year for Dabo, but next year.
Yeah. So team's good this year. I've got them in the playoffs. A lot of people don't. But this offensive line that is being reworked by Adrian Clem, the new O-line coach, who apparently works a lot better with Ryan Grubb than last year's O-line coach. A little continuity there in the play calling, the way to coach up the O-line and all that. A very young and talented group. When I tell you, Brown, sophomore, redshirt, junior from Cal Poly, sophomore, redshirt, junior, 2 more juniors as backups, 2 more redshirt freshmen, a sophomore as backups, your first thought is?
Well, I mean, first of all, if they're really good, they're never going to be a senior. If they're really good, I mean, your most really good guys now are going to go to the NFL, so they're not going to be a senior. So I'm not necessarily alarmed that you don't have seniors. I also am not going to say that just because you're young anymore, it's bad. Like, I know what you're saying right there. You say the word sophomore a lot when you run through all that.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's a young
But you asked
group.
me what I thought. It is young. It is young. There's a lot of sophomores in there.
That's not a lot of seat time. That's not a lot of seat time in big games.
Nope, but you had some seat time last year, and your offensive line sucked.
Yeah, 2 NFL draft picks.
Yeah, 2 NFL draft picks, and you still couldn't block the run.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't know if this line will be as talented, but they've got to be more productive. Like it's almost impossible. You had an offensive line last year that gave up over 30 sacks. You had one running back on that entire roster go over 500 yards, not 1,000 yards, 500 yards, and you average less than 3.5 yards as a team per carry. That is pathetic.
Yeah, I mean, think of how many games that Proctor and Brailsford had started. The 2 guys that got drafted, they started a ton of games.
That's what I'm saying. You had
started
seat
a ton
time.
of games together.
Yeah, you had seat time last year, and you couldn't block the run to save your life. So I don't necessarily get alarmed that it is a bit of a reset for Alabama's offensive line.
I do think that was the worst collection of Alabama running backs we've seen in 20 years.
Yeah, going back to Crowell and Daniel Hill, who's looked good, and the others over there. It's interesting times, man, in Tuscaloosa. A little something on Auburn here. In our opening segment, I was on with Dusty and Danny, Sirius XM, this morning. And, of course, one of the things they wanted to talk about was Camp Golesh going on. And, you know,
I saw video last night. They did not take the phones away, by the way.
So Danny called it a 4.5 star.
Wow.
I said, what happened to that other half? I thought it was a 5-star spot. But it's in the name.
Alabama's not staying there. It's a 5-star if Alabama stays there.
That's right. 24/7 and on 3 would have upped it to a 5-star. Right. Here's Byron Brown on the benefit of Auburn staying at this spa and resort for 13 days during camp. Here's your QB1.
Byron, you've been through the hotel process, I guess, in a preseason camp before, but just what are the biggest benefits of it? And also what maybe feels a little different about this one compared to years past?
It brings you guys together. Like, you know, people live wherever they live on a other day-to-day basis, but when you're in camp, you're in that hotel, you're riding the bus together, you're riding the bus back. On off days, you're in the hotel, you're just going to each other's room, playing cards, like not doing nothing, just chill vibe. Like, know the guy next to you, build that trust, build that connection that we're trying to harp. And I mean, this group is really special, and I'm super blessed and happy to be a part of it.
That should be noted there, that this isn't this team specific. Golesh did this at South Florida too.
Got 7 wins out of it.
Yeah.
Little shot there, Liz.
Not the first time he's done this. And team chemistry, team continuity in this day and age in college football, that's important, I think, to have the guys come together a little bit, right? There's value in continuity and everybody pulling the rope in the same direction.
Just tell me they're making them bunk up, though, right?
Oh, they were okay. So I saw. Hang on, I got to pull up who the video was. I saw it on TikTok last night. Does that surprise y'all that I saw this on TikTok last night?
I did not.
I was going to send it to Scott, but Scott hates TikTok videos, so I just chose.
Have either one of you guys ever stayed here? I'm looking at it's
I've never stayed.
Nice property.
Yeah,
it did get to Danny's point, it got a 4.4 on all its reviews. Man, it's got almost 1,500 reviews.
Yeah. I thought it was 5-star. I was giving them 5-star.
That pool, I'd be creeping trying to get out there into that resort pool.
No, I bet they are.
So it's Hudson Cack, who is the senior punter, and the Oklahoma State transfer, and he's in his room on TikTok, and he's showing whoever his bunkmate is, whoever his roommate is, double beds. has already got the PlayStation hooked up. And he's already started playing college football. He's like, let me go show you over here. Let me show you the pool. And he shows out the window, and you got this massive resort pool out there. Look, I know they're not trying to do this to be Junction. This is not Junction. This is about what you're talking about. It's about getting a bunch of guys together. Like I just mentioned, one's an Oklahoma State transfer, a bunch of South Florida transfers, getting guys together and forcing them basically to bond as teammates.
And you know something else, Brownie? In this day and age, when you've got to not only recruit high school kids, but in the portal as well to do that recruiting, do you think it's a selling point that, hey, we're going to spend 13 days at virtually a 5-star resort spa during camp? That would intrigue me if I'm rolling around and one guy's telling me, hey, we're gonna you got 2 weeks all paid at a spa as we're doing our preseason camp. That sounds like the NFL, even though we know it's not the NFL. Thanks to Roman Harper, it sounds like the NFL.
Another bell and or whistle. I'm looking at rates here. So like during the week, you can get these rooms for $230 to $250. I don't know what's going on next Friday, the 14th, $571. But on weekends, they look to be about $350 a room. And I was just wondering, like, if you're not doubling up, I mean, what are the numbers? Like, what are you spending on freaking rooms?
Yeah, I'm sure the RSA does not mind this booking here. I mean, Auburn football has basically taken probably half their hotel for 2 weeks.
Yeah, and I would think Auburn fans, like, if you've got some time to kill during the summer, get a room there for a week and enjoy
the team.
Yeah, meet the team and enjoy the spa, enjoy that pool.
Yeah, can I call a play?
Maybe we need to have a team bonding vacation.
We're working on that, Tyler.
At the spa? At the spa?
Gatlinburg.
Okay.
Yeah, one cabin. Bullet and chili will go with us. Big hot tub.
There's bonding.
Pancakes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Oh, well, you can eat pancakes at a different restaurant every meal while you're there.
Oh, in Gatlinburg?
sure.
It's at all
For a
restaurants.
month.
Yes.
For a month. Yeah, we can go down a ski slope that doesn't have snow. We can do it all.
I made one pass on that ski slope. And I took my skis back in and said, I'd rather live.
Yeah.
You ever play golf in Gatlinburg?
I have, yeah.
I did not know they have golf courses.
Oh, yeah, they got a couple good golf courses.
Yeah. It gets a little icy on their slopes up there.
I bet. And there were about 7 million people on the slopes.
And that'll make you
wearing jeans and stuff.
Yes, it was
it's
awful.
icy, and it'll put you on your assy pretty quickly.
Yeah,
hit that ice patch. All right, one thing before we go to break here. Cut 25, Tyler, if you can. Purdue, this is so bad.
I mean, what are you thinking?
Purdue's athletic director is Tommy McClellan. He gets introduced yesterday. He's at Purdue, which is in the Big Ten and in the same state with Indiana. And in your introductory press conference, this is Tommy McClellan at Purdue.
Every recruit, every current student athlete will hear this message repeatedly. We are here to win championships. If you don't want to win championships, go to Indiana.
So I think
Michael Scott
be the first time in history that somebody has lost their job over a press conference. I wouldn't have a problem with it, though. This is the AD.
Well, it's going to fire the guy.
No, I would. Like, how
Just
dumb do you have to be? By the way, quick math, I went and looked at it. Indiana's got 5 national championships in basketball. If we're just talking about the moneymakers, 5 in basketball, 1 this year. How this guy forgets.
Remarkably.
16-0 last year.
I know it surprises us all.
In the most important of all the championships, the one that makes the most money.
Yeah, it was right there on TV,
so
too.
Scoreboard says 6 there. What do you think Purdue has basketball, football combined?
All time?
Yep.
They've not won the basketball one, right? They got close.
They have not. They've been the runner-up twice.
I'm going to say 0 and 0.
0-0.
Yeah.
They claimed the football in 31.
Okay, I don't pay
Even if we
attention
give it to them at 6-1, this is unacceptable. Like, I don't understand. You've got to. You're reading. You've got a prepared statement.
I know. Yeah. And it's not like they won the championship 2 years ago.
I'd fire him. I don't want people to lose their jobs. I'd fire him.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
I mean, I don't know how this guy is the face of your athletic program. I really don't.
Because that's the kind of thing that Signetti is going to have a field day with this. The next time Signetti gets in front of a microphone.
You know he will.
This guy's entire tenure, whether it's a day or a decade, he will never live this down.
As Charles says in the chat room, and this is remarkable, the actual joke would have been go to Notre Dame. You've got a better joke if you say go to Notre Dame.
I don't think they've ever gotten one in basketball. They haven't had one in 40 years in football. It would have been so much better.
Yeah, it's a better joke if you say go to Notre Dame.
And it's a more known program. Like that. That would be incredible. Maybe that's what he meant to say.
I hope. I don't know how he messed it up.
Yeah. What if he had gone? Who was the candidate that never got it right? Was that McCain?
McCain.
Yeah. What if he'd said, if you don't want to win a championship, go to Purdue? I mean, don't come here. I mean, Indiana.
Gays, blind.
Yeah. All right, that's our opening segment. When we come back, we'll show you our villains off the Ryan McGee story. We'll tell you who Ryan put as villains, Ryan McGee, on ESPN.com. Lance brought this to the show yesterday, and I said, well, let's think a little bit for our villains. So we're going to give you 6 of ours. Ryan gives us 10. And I think we got into it because Lance didn't really agree with some of them or a lot of them.
And they've done a deeper dive today. They've gone the villain for every SEC team.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So I'm just saying, if we want to get really deep on this, we can. But,
I've got my 6 already on the dry erase board.
Me too.
LT and Brownie are doing that as well. We'll do that when we come back on the show. But last night, Lance gave you the first of what he hopes is an undefeated football season. That'd be good.
Yeah, I mean, we were.
That'd be good.
Yeah, that would. I probably wouldn't be here long. Somebody probably have me killed off, or I'd probably have another occupation. But we are 1-0 on the NFL season, preseason to start last night. Nice winner with the Panthers. Fun game for everybody to watch. We also had another winning night in Major League Baseball. We were 3-1 overall at Lance'sLike.com. We will have more plays up and available today, including a free play as we get ready for a big football season for you. It's always brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Had one of my best friend's daughter reach out this morning. Their AC went out last night. She said it's 77 degrees in here. I know you talk about guys all the time at Hemp Hill. Who do I call? I said, call Andrew, 205-229-2090. They called this morning at 7. They are coming out at noon today on a Friday. This shows you how reliable our friends from Hemp Hill Services are right in the middle of the heat of summer. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
The insurance company called. They offered you a settlement. Sounds good, right? Wrong. They're counting on you not knowing what your case is really worth. They're betting you take pennies on the dollar because you're scared and overwhelmed. Don't fall for it. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys has recovered over $2 billion for going to war with insurance companies that try this every single day. Call 659-777-7777 or alexwins.law. Free consultation. You pay nothing unless they win.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champy'schicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Never miss anything from the next round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, turn on automatic download so you can catch every part of the next round. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed, and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed. Thanks for always making the next round a big part of your day.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
The 2026 Yellowwood 500 weekend is returning to the Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 23rd through Sunday, October 25th. The triple header chase weekend at Talladega features 3 days of high-intensity racing across 3 series, capping off with the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Guarantee your spot now by visiting TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. And enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience, the most immersive in NASCAR. 877-GO-TO-DEGA or TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
I was just showing the guys back there, and you guys may know this already in the chat room. You may know this already, but I did not know this at all.
Are those your vitamins?
No, it's Advil. Child-proof lock, right?
Okay.
Did you know the reason it's designed this way? You turn it around upside down, not child-proof. If you don't have kids in your house or your kids are grown up now, you never have to deal with that.
Never knew that.
So
I have
that's why it's
probably
designed that way. So now you don't have to click on it anymore.
this is very random,
Child-proof.
but I probably have not taken more than 50 aspirin, ibuprofen, Advil in my entire life.
Would you just react to this amazing demonstration I gave you first?
There's other pills out there like Zyrtec. I'm on Zyrtec.
You can make it non-child-proof.
So I could do the Zyrtec like that.
I wonder why it was shaped like that, because I've got a prescription that I have to take with me.
So try it. See if yours does that too. Okay. And you turn it around.
You know what doesn't have childproof?
What?
Edible containers.
No,
they don't.
Or
They're like, hey,
dog-proof.
dogs, kids, whoever wants to get into these damn things, you can get into it.
So you see how it's designed?
Well, see, I've already got it that way, so I can flip it over. Now it's childproof.
Yep. So you're.
Is it working?
Yeah.
So
now I have to press it down. So if I flip it like that.
So you already had it non-child-proof?
Yeah, I just didn't realize it.
Yeah.
You know, one thing I didn't learn until I went to a presentation from a former client of ours. They did them once a week. Anyway, I was in there like 4 years ago, and they told, you know how you see the gas tank? The arrow next to it shows you which side the gas tank is on. I never knew that till like 3 or 4 years ago.
It shows you which side the door is on.
Did you guys always know that?
I did not always.
I didn't always know it, but I learned it a while back.
I did learn it probably when I was getting a truck from Bo, and Bo said, by the way, gas is on this side.
Did you know that, Tyler?
I'm sorry, I missed that.
I said, I just recently learned, like, this is something new that I had never heard of before. I didn't know the gas, like where you have the gas pump on your dash, and then it has an arrow pointing to one side, and that is the side your tank is on.
Yeah.
Did you not know that?
I didn't know
But
that.
aren't the
I've never noticed
vast
that.
majority of tanks are driver's side, though, right? Vast majority?
I don't know.
I think
Majority, yes, but there are plenty that aren't.
Did
I
you
used
know
to
that, Scott? Did you know that little fact?
Well, I used to have to rent a lot of cars on road trips in the old job. So the arrow for the gas tank is a
very helpful.
useful thing.
Yeah, very helpful.
How about this? I'm old enough to remember where gas tanks were under the tag.
Behind the license plate?
You'd pop the tag down, and that's where they were.
And you had to wedge the gas cap in the tag to hold it down so you could get the thing in there.
Anyway, and if you're wondering,
that's a lot of Advil.
That's a lot of Advil.
Just to clear it up, it's doesn't come in this, but we're Costco or Sam's members, so we buy everything in bulk now.
I know.
So I think we bought a gallon of Advil. So I put them in this just to throw them in the bag if I ever have a headache on the show. I don't have a headache or anything. I just wanted to show the
I
demonstration
did not know that.
really quick.
You taught me something today.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ingenuity.
Yeah.
The more you know.
More you know.
Yeah. Thank you, TikTok, for that. Our villains We'll get to that right after Brownie tells us about Inverness Country Club.
ICCalabama.com, ICCalabama.com. We were out there yesterday with the great folks at Inverness Country Club. Took some of our friends from Hemp Hill out there, Chad Rhodes and Connor, our intern. Connor out there, birdied the first two. Connor off to a hot start through two. He can play. 205-991-8608 if you want the tour at Inverness Country Club. 205-991-8608. That's our friend Aaron, and you can see more at ICCalabama.com. You're going to see that beautiful golf course at Inverness, the wonderful clubhouse with the great food at Inverness Country Club. But the people are what sets Inverness apart. So go on that tour and see more if you're looking for a club home in Birmingham. Inverness Country Club, ICCalabama.com. The best days happen at Inverness.
I know our intern Connor fell apart after those first two holes, and then he got his game
back a little bit.
But, man, watching his swing as a 20-year-old, a guy that's just picked it up in the last 18 months,
I wish I was that limber.
I think this kid will end up being a scratch golfer in the next couple of years.
Yeah, I could see it. Smooth swing, Connor. Yeah, I wish I had that swing.
Very good swing.
Yeah. Again, had to pay this guy money because I can never get the strokes right with him.
Hey, the show at Crane is also brought to you by our friends at Crane U.
Yeah, Crane U wants to remind you they are your all-in-one destination for Crane certification success. They will guide you through every single step of the process, from the comprehensive prep, both in and out of the classroom, to ensure you're fully equipped for even the toughest exams. Then they're going to streamline your experience by administering both written and hands-on tests right there at their facility, so you can get certified with confidence and convenience. Inspections, training, certifications, whatever you need, Crane U's got it handled. It's the one call you make and you're good. If you talk to Nicole or Francis, make sure you tell them the next round sent you. For more information, craneu.com. That is craneu.com.
Ryan McGee, the great Ryan McGee, friend of the show, ESPN.com, yesterday, 10 biggest villains all time in college football. Caleb Williams, 10. I assume because of the bad blood leaving Oklahoma to go USC.
Yes, I never really thought he was a villain.
I've never seen that at all.
Yeah.
I mean, when you win a Heisman Trophy, you become a little polarizing, but the team wasn't good enough to ever make anybody
I never
upset.
really saw it with him.
I know he upset people by painting his nails and a couple of things like that, but there were so many more villains than Caleb Williams. For him to be number 10 is crazy.
Deion Sanders at 9. Obviously, primetime, a showman back in the day, but just in that series, Florida State and Miami back in the day,
he was the least offensive of most of that series.
Yeah.
But I mean, he did talk about, Jesus couldn't cover him. He would call his shot like.
No, he was brash.
Yeah, I mean, and he, coming into the NFL, hey, I know Detroit wants to draft me. They don't have enough money to put me on layaway. I mean, he had great sound bites. He was a villain for a long time, but that was back before Florida State was winning championships.
Yeah.
I think it would have been
they were good, but they
more,
weren't
more impactful for him being a huge villain if they were winning championships.
Tim Tebow, who almost seems like at some point will write a book in the Bible and just add it on to the end, is number 8 on the list.
I never saw him as a villain. I think people liked Tebow and wished he would date their daughter or play on their team. They hated to go against him because he was good, but I never really saw him as a villain.
Yeah, I don't know if you could call him a villain. I think when you get so good, you become a guy that people pull against. And I think not only that with
the whole list
Tim Tebow
is going to be that. I mean, people hate success.
But he was so successful, and a lot of people thought he was just kind of hokey because he was genuine, but people didn't necessarily believe it because it was so genuine.
Yeah.
And then the fact that he played at that for
level.
just a moment for the evil empire, which was Florida and Urban Meyer.
Right. Speaking of the evil empire, number 7 is ESPN. And I see this one because of the portrayed tie-ins to Fox with the Big Ten, ESPN with SEC. I see that.
I never really thought it, though. It never bothered me.
I think in the South, it's not as bad as in other places. I would agree.
Notre Dame is 6.
Definitely.
Number 5 is the 1990 Miami Hurricanes team. They did a whole documentary on it. The U.
I mean, I loved the Cotton Bowl against Texas and the way. I mean,
I probably hated it at the time.
The way they operated, but I mean, they knew what they were doing. They knew they could blow them out. They could have all these penalties. I mean, 15 penalties for over 200 yards. I don't know how you specify. Like, if you just wanted to go Miami Hurricanes, I could live with that. I don't know how you specify 1990. It wasn't even one of their teams that won a championship.
No, you're right. I don't know why it was that specific one, other than the 30 for 30 made it popular.
Yeah. The Boz at 4, really no problem with that one. Johnny Manziel at 3, I understand it. Lane Kiffin at 2, and Steve Spurrier at 1. That's Ryan McGee's list, so I'm dying.
I don't know how you have Lane Kiffin on this list.
Me either.
You haven't won anything.
Ain't done enough yet.
So I'm dying to see everybody's list. And Brown, we'll start with you and work over to LT and then me.
I intentionally did not look at Ryan's list. I did not want to be pushed one way or the other. But he and I agree on number 1, Steve Spurrier. I think he's one of the greatest villains in the history of football. The Boz, number 2. Growing up in the 80s, everybody but Oklahoma fans hated the Boz. I mean, he thumbed his nose at everything in college football. They hated the Boz.
But I think for people that hated the NCAA, at that point,
it was
Oklahoma
weird,
was one of the. But he was so opinionated about the NCAA, you had to kind of respect
He
that.
was so anti-establishment that you're like, I really don't like the establishment either, but boy, this guy. Urban Meyer, number 3. Nobody liked Urban Meyer unless he was coaching your team. Nick Saban, because of his success, number 4. Nick Saban was a great villain. And people I lower him a little bit because people end up respecting him at the end as a coach. And now as an analyst, I think he's the most respected he's ever been universally. Cam Newton, because of the success, and because he was brash, because of the nature of how he got to Auburn fans loved him. Everybody else hated him, especially Alabama fans. And I couldn't narrow down one Miami team. So at number 6, I just went to you as a whole. That from basically 1983 till sometime early 90s, that whole run of the U.
See, I don't – how do you think Cam was – I mean, I know him in this state for half the state.
Oh, nobody liked Cam Newton.
But around the country, do you think nobody liked Cam Newton?
And people still don't.
No, Auburn fans loved him, but nobody else liked him.
Nobody.
Yeah.
So during that 2010 season, like if I'm watching a game in Norman or in Ann Arbor or a bar in New York City, nobody thought he was good.
Oh, I think they thought he was great.
They thought he was incredible.
And they were cheering
didn't
for him.
like him.
Yeah, didn't like him. And I think a lot of people thought that there was something that went on under the table to either get him to Mississippi State or Auburn, and it turns out there was. And I think that's what that's another reason people hated him because of that.
The only reason I didn't put him on my list, I really thought about it, was because it was only 1 year.
Yeah.
So mine a little bit different. Obviously, it's very subjective. You had 3 duplication from Ryan's list. I've only got 2, but I've got Jameis Winston at number 6 for me.
That's a good one.
I mean, you're talking about, from the moment I saw him play, I had Pittsburgh plus points on that Labor Day night, and, he gutted me, and he was so freaking good. And I think everybody was waiting for his downfall, and we didn't get to spend a lot of time on it because it was the same day that Alabama was upset by Ohio State. But when Oregon went in there and destroyed Jameis Winston in the Rose Bowl, I think people loved that moment in his last college game.
Yep.
Number 5, Joe Pa. I don't think he was I think he was respected, but he wasn't liked, and you can help me out with this. In the 70s, the way he scheduled, winning championships, Northern team, and then everything that transpired after the fact.
I don't think he was hated until everything that went down post.
Yeah, I never liked him
either. Yeah, there was always something that rubbed me the wrong way about Joe Pa. I think he was kind of Yankee, and I'm Southern.
Yeah.
He was your vintage, or not vintage. He was your quintessential Yankee football coach.
I think a lot of Alabama fans respected him because that rivalry was not really a hatred-based rivalry, and he seemed to always pay a great deal of respect to Bear Bryant during those years, and they would schedule games with each other. So until nobody ever talks about Joe Paterno anymore for a good reason. And he's never mentioned in graphics or anything like that. So it's
I never even watched the movie with Al Pacino. I could put Joe Pa on here number 1, and I would have no problem with it. Number 4, Spurrier. I do think that there was a time he was the most hated guy. I know he's number 1 on this list for Ryan McGee.
Well, just the sound bites.
Yeah, the sound bites. I found it very, very entertaining.
Yeah, I actually ended up being entertained by it.
Number 3, Notre Dame. A lot of people are going to forget this because, you brought up the fact haven't won one since 1988, but there was a time everyone that wasn't a Notre Dame football fan hated Notre Dame. That got to be Urban Meyer at number 2 on the list. Urban Meyer was just such a dick, so robotic. Nobody liked him.
You didn't like him unless he coached for you.
No. And then Nick Saban, just because he was so dominant. And Nick Saban, was one of these guys that never seemed happy. He kind of stole what Spurrier had as far as winning and annihilating people. And then obviously the empire he built was kind of Notre Dame. Like everybody hated Alabama that wasn't an Alabama fan for a decade plus.
You got Nick Saban, the number 1 villain.
Yeah.
Me too.
Okay.
Do you really?
I mean, he was that good.
Because he was that good. I mean, if you were not an Alabama fan, you had to hate him. Number 6, I'm going to go ahead and put him there. Kurt Signell.
He'll be on this list.
He's earning his way there for sure.
Because he is going to always talk. and he's okay with that. Some of this is just I don't hate as much as I did when I was a kid or a teenager or in college when it comes to sports, because I started covering them and I realized things are just different on the other side of the street. They hate you just as much as you hate them.
Yeah, and I mean, look, everybody's got good in them, everybody's got bad in them, and you can find ways to hate some of these. But
but like if Signetti was my coach, I'd love him, right?
Yeah.
70s and 80s Sooners and Huskers. I just disliked the fact that it was the Big Eight when I was growing up. They didn't have to play that many big games, and it always felt like one of them was number one. Sometimes they were 1 and 2, and it always just felt like when they played each other, they don't even play each other anymore. So for half our audience right now, they don't even know Oklahoma and Nebraska at one point was one of the biggest rivalries in college football. And every year it seemed like they would play, and the winner would get to go to the Orange Bowl and have some kind of argument for a national championship.
And Oklahoma was just an outlaw program.
Yeah.
And it seemed like Nebraska was doing it the right way, and Oklahoma wasn't.
But I didn't like Tom Osborne either.
I didn't love Nebraska myself. But of those two, it seemed like they were the All-American team against the Outlaws.
It seemed like Barry Switzer was much more hated than Tom Osborne.
I agree completely.
Number 4 for me, grumpy old media people that cover college football.
They're the worst.
I couldn't put all that on there.
Yes.
But people that don't celebrate college football, that go to games or sit and write columns, whatever you call them now on digital platforms.
Who do you think number 1 on that list? I know Feinbaum would get votes.
He would get votes, but he's not a grumpy old media
I agree,
person.
but like who would be the...
I don't know that he's old, but Dan Wolken is grumpy media and hates college football.
Yeah. I mean, you can be talented at your job in media and not hate everything.
That's correct. Yeah.
Right? And there are people that, in the hot take world, they hate everything. Like, this is the worst coach. It's the worst game. It's the worst stadium. It's the worst this. It's the worst that. Get over it. It's college football. I love college football.
Even people that destroy NIL and what's going on with the transfer portal, we have never had as much parity and as much entertainment as we're having right now in college football.
It could have been the best year of college football last year. I don't know.
I wish Platt could see number 3.
But just hear me when I tell you I love college football, and I hate you for hating college football.
Wow.
Number 3, Tournament of Roses Committee.
Come on, Clatt.
Oh, pretentious dickheads.
Yeah.
I mean, they are.
And for the kid growing up that loved college football back before we had a playoff,
right?
We were always told that number 1 and number 2 couldn't play each other because of the Rose Bowl. And so it had to be on my villain list because most of my life I couldn't watch number 1 play number 2 because oftentimes one of them was playing in the Rose Bowl. So I'd have to watch number 1 play number 5, and number 2 is playing number 7, and 3 and 4 were playing each other. And I was like, what are we doing? And most of that was because of the Tournament of Roses.
I mean,
Committee.
the most pretentious group is probably Augusta National, but it means something every year. Like, and it's a full week. I mean,
it doesn't keep the best golfers from playing in that tournament.
Yeah, this guy or these guys, you don't always have a meaningful game. Like, we enjoy it because of what it is, but yeah, I mean, for them to have one event per year and
wield that much power.
Yeah, I mean, for years. Now, they've got less power now. We've got a 12-team playoff, so it doesn't matter anymore. But for most of my life, these folks were basically one layer of hell because they prevented college football from being really good. Notre Dame, it speaks for itself. I grew up south of the Mason-Dixon line and made it bigger than everything else, all caps.
Bold.
And then Nick Saban, because he was the best to ever do it.
That's right.
And that makes you a villain.
Yeah, I mean, look, I know media respected Saban, but you guys, I mean, go back to the last national championship of 2020. I mean, if you would have done a approval rating outside of Alabama fans, I mean, what was it for Nick Saban?
I think by the end of his career, I do think he made that turn where people started to respect Nick Saban, and he softened. I mean, there's no doubt his image softened late in his career.
And they love him now because...
Oh, yeah. He's more respected now than he's ever been. I mean, his respect level right now was near 100.
Would you guys, if we did this for the combination of NFL and college, would Belichick be number 1 on the list?
He would be on my board.
He's right there in both.
Yeah. Because, I mean, he never got to the point that, and I do agree, like Saban now, I think if you're a USC fan, I think if you're a Michigan fan, I think if you're a Miami fan, when you sit back on the couch on Saturday and you watch him talk, you respect it.
That's right. That's right.
But I don't think there's anybody out there that has gravitated towards Bill Belichick as the guy you respect.
You're right about that.
And he never will be able to get what Saban has gotten post-career. But all you have to do is look at to have Saban number 1 or number 4 on your list. Brownie, incorrect. We had him correct at number 1.
Okay, thank you.
The reason, all you have to do is look at how many times when did people rush the field on him when they beat him?
Yeah, all of them.
Every time.
Yeah, every single time.
I mean, you didn't get to see a lot of it. But
Yeah, I mean, you rushed the field when you beat him. That shows you who the guy was to beat.
And nobody will ever have a top 25 versus record that he has.
Nope. He was dominant.
Yeah, he just was. I mean, never see anything like it again.
Todd Fuhrman on the other side of the show today, that's being brought to you by our friends at New York Butcher Shop. LT, tell us about New York Butcher.
I was so close to going to the New York Butcher Shop yesterday. I'm thinking about today. I've got a really good friend coming in town, hang out. We're going to poolside it, deciding whether or not we're going out to dinner or we're just going to get the steaks. But look, if you're looking to kick off the weekend the right way, stop in and see our man Jim there at the New York Butcher Shop. 2 locations for you, the original Cabo Heights, Highway 119 in Greystone as well. From the fresh meats, the in-house sides, deli sandwiches for lunch or dinner. Great selection of fine wines and desserts. Stop in, see Jim, tell him the next round sent you. Rare quality, well-done service. It's the New York Butcher Shop.
And our friends in Talladega ready to welcome you back on their hallowed grounds there of the world's fastest speedway. October 23rd through the 25th is Yellowwood 500 playoff racing weekend. Truck race on Friday. You get the great race on Saturday and then the cup race on Sunday, the Yellowwood 500. The playoff race, and don't forget Talladega is the world's fastest speedway. It also gives you the most immersive garage experience. You can get garage passes, the garage experience. Go right there into the Big Bill compound there. Enjoy great food, great drinks, and also get access to the Garage Bay viewing areas, the pre-race ceremonies, driver and crew chief question and answer sessions, and of course the Mobile One Victory Lane Trophy and Photo part at the end of the race. It's all right there at Talladega. Get your tickets, 877-GO-TO-DEGA or TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
Facing time for a crime, huh? Got a list of charges looming over your head. 5-0 got your back up against the wall. Them alphabet boys trying to sit you down on that rack. Well, have no fear. The People's Defender is here. Attorney J.B. Brown, powered by Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorney. He meticulously investigates every case and challenges evidence. Dedicated to protecting the rights and futures of individuals facing criminal charges. Hit him up now at thepeoplesdefender.com. Thepeoplesdefender.com.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats are all in one place. NextRound.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know. You might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all your favorite Next Round gear by visiting NextRound.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at NextRound.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from NextRound.store.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on The Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at The Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
The 2026 Yellowwood 500 weekend is returning to the Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 23rd through Sunday, October 25th. The triple-header chase weekend at Talladega features 3 days of high-intensity racing across 3 series, capping off with the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Guarantee your spot now by visiting TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. And enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience, the most immersive in NASCAR. 877-GO-TO-DEGA or TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Our friends at Walk-Ons bringing you part of this hour. Great locations all over Central Alabama, right here where The Next Round is located in the Birmingham metro area. One there at Stadium Trace near the Hoover Met. Great location there. The one closest to our studio, which is right here off of Highway 280, Tattersall Park. That Walk-Ons, that's the home base for us when we go to Walk-Ons and all the great Cajun sports fare and the best TVs and the best beers on tap for you right there at Walk-Ons. The Trussville location. And a brand new one coming to downtown Homewood, Alabama. Walk-Ons. It's game on.
And our kickoff party, we'll give you guys the date on that once it gets finalized. I was texting with our buddy Matt Roth from Walk-Ons this morning, so that should be next week at some point. We should be able to give you a hard date on that.
All right, and it's going to be the Greystone Walk-Ons?
That's what we're pushing for, the
okay,
home game
gotcha,
now.
home game.
Could be Homewood.
Tattersall Park, yeah. It could be Homewood.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Homewood. I'd like the new one,
be.
too. All right, Todd Fuhrman, CBS Sports, former odds maker, Caesars Palace, with us now, and I'm sure Fuhrman was up all night readjusting his NFC power rankings after the best Hall of Fame game we've ever seen, Fuhrman.
Look, I'm ready to put Haynes King in the same class as Taysom Hill. If he's able to go out there and start catching footballs, the Carolina Panthers may have found themselves a unique weapon. And you never count out the heartbeat of Georgia Tech football on 4th and goal with the cover hanging in the balance to be willing to stick his nose across the goal line and get Carolina backers to the window.
You know, in this industry that I've been dabbling in for the last couple of decades, and you've been in all your life, it is hard to take a win sometimes like that. I had Carolina -1.5, but on the flip side, if he doesn't get in, you don't cover, and that's just part of it. But I don't know what side you were on, but it literally comes down to the last second.
I joke with a buddy, LT, who also found himself on Carolina, that he used up all of his mojo the first preseason game of the year, so I wanted to fade his NFL picks over the course of the next 3 to 4 weeks when the gambling gods no doubt get their pound of flesh back. But to your point, I mean, it is what we live for in this industry. You're going to find yourself on the right side and the wrong side of some of those late game heroics. But a hat tip to anybody who had the foresight to bet that game over the total. It looked like it was dead in the water after a scoreless first quarter. And then, of course, you're kicking your feet back, going over 33.5 or 34 with that 34-point outburst in the second quarter with, a combination of Kenny Pickett, Carson Beck, and Haynes King putting on a fireworks show.
I don't know if I can bet on it or not anywhere, but Carson Beck getting more starts than any other Cardinals quarterback this year. How do you feel about that?
I haven't been able to find that, but if you really think that's the case, Dunaway, the best way to attack Carson Beck would probably be in the Offensive Rookie of the Year awards market. We did see his number dip a little bit from 30-1 down to 25, some prominent books in the high teens as well. But if you think Carson Beck is able to assume the QB1 mantra from Jacoby Brissett a little bit earlier than anticipated, he'll have opportunities to go out there in what I don't think is a star-studded rookie class, albeit with one of the most difficult schedules, not just in the league this year, but that we've probably seen over the last 10 years. So while Arizona may want to figure out what they have in the third-round pick and Carson Beck, I'm not sure I'd throw his feet to the fire that early in the season, knowing that it is a significantly softer landing spot during the months of November and December, where I believe the Cardinals play 5 out of their final 6 games all at home.
Todd Fuhrman is with us, CBS Sports, and also you can see him at Todd Fuhrman on social media, former odds maker Caesar's Palace. The other sideline, Carolina, who ended up getting the win, they are in a division that is certainly a winnable division for them. Ian Rappaport reports that Tua is looking like the starter in Atlanta. How do you handicap Carolina in that NFC South where it looks like it's Atlanta, Carolina, Tampa, all kind of jumbled together and they're really hard to separate?
Tua being the starter in Atlanta may be a bigger indictment on Michael Penix than anybody else at this point. For those folks who've watched Tua struggle over the last couple of seasons as a member of the Dolphins, that division is no doubt the weakest in the National Football League from top to bottom. We saw last year with Carolina winning it with just 8 wins. Kind of joke with some of my CBS colleagues, could we see a 7-win team ending up atop the scrap heap between the Falcons, the Saints, the Bucks, and Panthers? Don't have a strong conviction on the division winner. All those teams tightly bunched. We have seen the price on Atlanta shrink a little bit from 5.5 to 1. I've seen as low as 4 to 1 right now. But it's a Falcons defense that's dealing with injuries, losing Jalen Walker. We're not sure if James Pierce is going to be out there all season long. And offensively, while you like the skill position talent they have in Kyle Pitts, Drake London, and Bijan Robinson, I'm not sure there's much in the way of secondary weapons. Carolina, though, is where I've taken my biggest stance in the division going into the year. We bet their regular season win total under 7.5, and that was before they got bit pretty hard by the injury bug along the offensive line, losing Nick Scorton. So while Bryce Young is in a prove-it year, I'm not optimistic that this Carolina team can replicate what they did a season ago. So I'm willing to pay to see them get to 8 wins for a second consecutive season.
So, Fuhrman, over the last 5 years, the average new playoff teams in the NFL has jumped up to 7. So basically half. I mean, that's what it is. Do you try to identify those in the offseason, just whether or not they will make the playoffs, and then the teams that will fall out of the playoffs?
Not necessarily. It's all numbers driven, as you know all too well, LT. So saying a team like the Cincinnati Bengals who went from the outside inside, I mean, it's basically a byproduct of injury attrition and, of course, the schedule that'll work in their favor. So if a price looks good on that yes-no market, then I'm all the more willing to jump in. But what I've actually found, given that level of parity that you mentioned, is that you're going to get better prices on some of the teams that made the playoffs one year to miss the next year and to bet the no price. And while it may not be the sexiest on the surface, because it's tough to try and convince yourself a team like the Baltimore Ravens going through a coaching transition at no at minus plus $3 makes a little bit more sense for me to try and get involved there. Realizing, is it likely to happen? No. But is there a path in the NFL where you lose a starting quarterback or you lose key contributors where the best teams come back to the pack? And I would encourage people to look at the good teams to miss more so than teams to kind of make that ascent from anonymity into making the 14-team field.
Oh, I think it's an insult to John Harbaugh to just think that franchise rolls on without him. So I love that. I can get them at plus $3.
You can get plus $3 there, but if you're a believer in Harbaugh or a fader of Harbaugh, I think the better bet is to bet against the Giants getting to 8 wins this year. But yeah, it's a Ravens team that I really like to hire in Jesse Minter, but I just don't like the talent mix there in Baltimore. And like I said, do I think it's likely they find themselves on the outside looking in? No, but I think it's a defense that took on water. They made a major commitment to Zay Flowers. The fact that he now has the largest guarantee amongst any NFL wide receiver is wild to me. And while I know we've said this for the last decade, somewhere along the way, Father Time remains undefeated, and Derrick Henry can't keep rumbling for 2,000 yards. So if Henry has some of the fumble problems that plagued him for stretches last year, I wonder where this Ravens offense goes to make things happen. I have Cincinnati winning that division, and if Baltimore's fighting for a wild card spot, I like the opportunity to be able to have a little bit of exposure there at a 3-to-1 price that they would find themselves on the outside looking in.
Would you have this? Look, anything and everything goes in the NFL. I mean, we know this. I mean, the Chiefs went from playing in a Super Bowl to completely falling apart, obviously with the Mahomes injury last year, but that's part of it when the quarterback goes down. I mean, right now the Rams are minus 475 to make the playoffs. Would you have the stones to fade the Rams to not make the postseason?
So even if Ty Simpson were to go out there and start 10, 11 games, that Rams defense might be good enough to get them to the postseason. So that's a team that I'm going to take a wait-and-see approach. Do I think there's a lot of value betting the Rams to win the Super Bowl at 5.5 to 1? Absolutely not. Do I think I'd be running to the window to make them the odds-on favorite where they're rightfully priced to win the NFC West? No. But we dealt with this Matthew Stafford injury uncertainty going into last year. And yes, he was the model of health, carried them, as deep as he possibly could to the NFC Championship game. They're one hit away from really being in a perilous position like most teams in the NFL. So to your point, yeah, I'd feel more comfortable betting a no price there than I would a yes. But I think this Rams defense can be the real deal. And I think that makes a much bigger difference in terms of providing a good baseline with the 1-2 punch they'll have in the backfield, where I expect Blake Corum to emerge as RB1 the deeper we get into the season.
Jahmyr Gibbs gets a new contract. Is Gibbs the best non-quarterback in the MVP conversations and Offensive Player of the Year conversations? Where is Gibbs for you?
In my circles, we call that Dunaway type money that Jahmyr Gibbs was able to land with that big contract. But there's a reason Jahmyr Gibbs is the favorite to be the Offensive Player of the Year at a price tag right around 6.5 to 1. His backfield counterpart in Bijan Robinson right around 9 to 1. Gibbs is going to be interesting to watch this year because we know the talent on full display. We've seen it in flashes for the Lions. But is he durable enough to be a true bell cow back? He's shared carries over the last couple of years with David Montgomery, and it's allowed Dan Campbell and company to keep him fresh throughout the course of a 17-game grinding schedule. If Gibbs sees his workload tick up to 75-80%, does he provide the same big play potential deep into December as he inevitably will against a soft schedule throughout the month of September? So I think Gibbs is a worthy favorite in that market, but he's not a guy that I want to bet at 6.5 to 1. When I'm looking at that Offensive Player of the Year market, though, and I like to try and catch a little bit of lightning in a bottle, there is one player that stands out in the same division, and it's a wide receiver in Chicago. Unfortunately, he's getting all sorts of buzz, so the number has come down a little bit. I think Luther Burden at a price right around 100 to 1, 120 to 1, has the opportunity to have a rapid ascent. I know Ben Johnson wants to establish the run, so it's a little bit different. But I think Luther Burden can kind of have that Jackson Smith and Jigba type breakout performance. And if you're going to give me a price of 100 to 1 or better in an offensive friendly skill position system, I'm going to take that flyer.
Todd Fuhrman on the Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys Hotline. I want to ask a college question. I was Connor O'Gara's show this morning on our platform. Connor and I were talking about what I believe to be one of the most fascinating teams in college football this year, and that's USC. And if you look at their schedule, Fuhrman, through a lens of they got to get to 10-2 to be in the playoffs. If you look at it through that lens, there's 4 games where I assume they'll be underdogs in all these games. Oregon in L.A., at Penn State, Ohio State in L.A., and at Indiana. Do you assume they'll be underdogs in all 4 of those games, number one? And number 2, if I look at it through a 10-2 lens, how can I get that team to 10-2?
It's going to be difficult, and there's no doubt that Lincoln Riley will need to get his best coaching performance. We've seen USC really improve their recruiting, so the roster should be more talented. But losing a defensive coordinator in Danton Lynn, making the trade for Gary Patterson, I think is a bigger deal than people are letting on. We'll see if Patterson can find that fastball, being a little bit past his prime to command the defense. And you mentioned those games, home dates against Oregon and Ohio State, road dates against Indiana and Penn State. The Penn State game is the closest we're going to find to a pick'em. Penn State may be a 1-point favorite. USC may open -1. So that is a true 50-50 proposition. But they will have to try and pull off at least one major upset at home against an Oregon or Ohio State, maybe even both, if they were to drop that game against Penn State, to put together a compelling playoff resume. Let me tell you, gentlemen, if there's one football team that can dictate the overall level of happiness in our household, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday and it's USC on Saturday. And knowing that I'm kind of pot committed to spending my Halloween at the Coliseum for USC Ohio State, I really hope the Trojans only have one loss on their resume then, because my wife will not be pleasant to be around if Ohio State comes in there and beats them by 3 touchdowns, kind of putting a damper on the Lincoln Riley optimism we're seeing going into this year.
The Fuhrman family game there on that one. That Penn State game, Fuhrman, doesn't have a start time yet, obviously, but it would seem destined for the Fox Big Noon kick. How much does that impact the way you look at that with USC playing what at that point would be a 9 a.m. body clock kickoff?
And the one thing we do know about that game, even if we don't have the start time yet, is it's going to be Penn State's annual whiteout. So it is an electric atmosphere that USC will be walking into. We have seen how much this team has truly struggled when they fly across multiple time zones. And we'll see if they're able to kind of flip the script in a spot like that. But knowing it's a body clock game that's rather early and Lincoln Riley is the king of making excuses, we'll see if USC can go out there and put together 4 quarters. Because the last time we saw them, I guess in what we would call a big prove-it type game with an early kickoff, they were extremely sloppy against Illinois, and it was probably the game last year that derailed a lot of their seasonal expectations.
All right, at Todd Fuhrman on social media is where you find him. You see him on CBS, and he is the former odds maker at Caesars Palace. Always fun talking with Fuhrman on Fridays. Thank you, Todd. Have a great weekend.
You guys do the same, gentlemen. Football getting here, at least the real variety, sooner rather than later. Can't wait.
Cannot wait, buddy. Thank you. Take care. Fuhrman with us on the Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys Hotline.
Before we do the spotlight, LT just got a new deck at his house thanks to Mo Mike.
Mo Mike, best in the business. Actually, the only one I know in the business because I looked around everywhere. I'm telling you, he did an incredible job. But I've told this story the last couple of days. I couldn't find anybody to demo the deck, take down the wood that had been rotted. It had been there for 20 years and put up the new deck. Our man, Greg from Pell City, was like, I got to tell you about my buddy Mike at Mo Mike Construction, LLC, premium deck and outdoor living. What if your backyard became the favorite room in your house? At Mo Mike Construction, LLC, they believe a deck is more than lumber and screws. It's where birthdays are celebrated, family gatherings, friends laugh, memories are made. Every project designed with your vision in mind and built to stand the test of time because they know you're not just investing in your home, you're investing in your lifestyle. So don't settle for an ordinary backyard. Build a destination for your family and friends that they will enjoy for years to come. Call Mo Mike Construction, LLC today. Get that free consultation, 205-746-9901, 205-746-9901, and let Mo Mike build the outdoor space you've always imagined. Mo Mike Construction, LLC. They don't just build decks, they build where life happens.
Spotlight.
The Spotlight presented each day by our guy, Alexander Shunnarah, trial attorneys, Shunnarah.com, Shunnarah.com. That is the place to go when you find yourself in need of any legal assistance. And he's a Birmingham guy. Alexander Shunnarah, born and raised in Birmingham, went to school at UAB, and when it came time to plant a firm somewhere, he said, I'll take care of my hometown. And boy, has he done that. Now, more than 25 years later, more than 500 dedicated team members, more than 150 talented attorneys. And if you find yourself in need of one, you go there. Shunnarah.com. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case. Shunnarah.com.
All right. Brandon Marcello did a story on the 10 most expensive rosters in college football. And I'm having a hard time bringing that list back up right now. But he did this, and I wanted to ask you, does it surprise you or not surprise you that Alabama is the 8th most expensive roster in college football this year?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, if you would have, when we rolled into this era in 2021, I would have thought at that immediate moment, Alabama would always be in the top 10.
Yeah.
But then the more you hear, they just don't have the funds in the collective that other schools have. So I am a little bit surprised. And especially where recruiting is right now.
Well, and I was somebody in the business of college athletics, I'll just put it that way, told me that Alabama's NIL got a big bump this cycle. That's the way it was put to me, that Alabama's football NIL got a big bump this cycle. So maybe that's why they are where they are, Dunaway.
Yep. They're 8th. Number 1 is Texas, Miami, Ohio State, LSU, Oregon, Notre Dame, A&M, Alabama. That's pretty high company.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I was going to ask, who do you absolutely know would be in front of Alabama? And I think you named all the teams I would definitely have named.
I mean, Ohio State, Texas, Oregon. What is I still don't understand the Miami. You're going to have to help me out. I know that we've had like certain boosters here and there, but when Miami's spending, $44 million is the number I've seen?
$44 million, 47.9 for Texas, 44 with Miami.
Yeah.
Just ahead of Ohio State at 43.5.
I mean, how does Miami have more resources than either Ohio State or Texas A&M?
Yeah, well, I would say maybe not more resources, but more people willing to spend on it. You have a couple of billionaires and $44 million is nothing at that point, right? It's a private school, couple of big boosters. Some of them have had some federal issues.
Some of them had some issues.
But I mean, it's just surprising to me because it doesn't seem like when you look at fan bases, Miami doesn't have a fan base.
Not a very good one.
Not ones that go to the game, not
Yeah.
traditional college football fan bases, but they have Miami. You know this. Miami is such a, it's an expensive town with a lot of rich people.
I get it, but I just, I just thought the
I would say,
passion for football with Michigan. I mean, teams we're not even naming. Oklahoma. You would think that Notre Dame they would spend more money.
There's no bigger discrepancy between passion of fan base and money spent than Miami.
No.
It's a good way. That's a good way of putting it.
I would say I was surprised. Tennessee's 9th, by the way. Texas Tech is 10th. I was surprised that Texas Tech was 10th.
Yeah, I thought they might be higher.
Object, yeah.
I mean, you might as well. I mean, if you're Cody Campbell, why not spend more than anyone?
I mean, he's got it. He's got it to spend, and he wants to spend it. I mean, that's the thing.
What was their number in 30 million?
36.9. Bama's 37.2. I don't think I just looked at Alabama's roster and said, okay, that's a $37.2 million roster by terms that wasn't it? What was the number when Ohio State won it 2 years ago? Was it 20?
It was the reported 20, but then when you factored in Chip Kelly, I think it was around 30.
Yeah. So a $30 million national
you
championship.
can't win 8 games with $30 million.
And I think Sig has indicated his was around 20 last year.
Yeah.
He's tried to tamp down what the number actually was that Mark Cuban footed the bill for last year.
But 6 over $40 million rosters, and assume this time next year there'll be 6 over $50 million. But Alabama's in the mix there, and I that surprised me when I saw that because I guess we were saying that Kalen DeBoer was doing more with less, that they were being smart about their money. Not that they're not being smart about their money. I just don't see, like, Miami's at $44 million. You say to yourself, well, I mean, they probably paid $5 million to get Mensah, right? So that's $5 million of $44 million. Who's Alabama's highest paid guy? It just seems like Alabama's, all their guys are making good money.
He should have taken a pay cut. He was great on the show when we had him, but it should be Ryan Coleman-Williams.
Yeah, I would think he's your highest paid. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
In my head, that's less than $2 million.
I don't know if
I do think that it is much more spread out, and you don't have these top-heavy guys.
Yeah, and that could be great for keeping players from going into the portal, which we don't see at a lot of Alabama. It's not an influx of people leaving every year. There's obviously a few, and that could be good for team chemistry if you have a lot of millionaires and not just one that's making tons and tons of money.
It's almost Tampa Bay Ray-like when you look. I mean, I know Tampa Bay, the Rays payroll is going to be so different, and we're still talking about a top 10 here in Alabama, so different from like the Dodgers. But I'm just talking about how the money is probably spread out.
Rays. Got the old Ray shirt on there.
Miami at $44 million, back to them just for a second. It seems like a value that you played for the national championship, but if they don't get in the playoffs last year, and we're looking at this, there are so many things that Miami would be getting crushed for in the offseason if they didn't make the playoffs last year.
Brandon Marcello also gave us his college football playoff at CBSSports.com. And this is who Marcello has going to the 12-team playoff. By the way, chalk up another person not having Alabama in the playoffs. Brandon Marcello is there. He does have Michigan in. And his group of, it's the first time I've seen this team, his group of 6 is North Dakota State, just a program that knows how to win. So Marcello would have Michigan, and I appreciate Brandon doing it correctly too, putting the lower seed. The college football playoff folks don't do this. Brandon does. Michigan at Oklahoma with Oklahoma winning. North Dakota State at Miami with Miami winning. LSU at Texas with Texas winning. Indiana at BYU with Indiana winning. Then to the quarters at the bowl sites. Oregon beating Oklahoma. Ohio State beating Miami. Texas beating Georgia. And Indiana beating Notre Dame. Then in the semis, he has Oregon over Ohio State. He has Texas over Indiana. And then he has Oregon over Texas for the national championship. That's Brandon Marcello, CBS Sports.
Seen a lot of Oregon. I don't know how that translates to Dan Lanning's pressure level at Oregon. I imagine it's pretty high already. But
I would say every time you see it, it clicks up a little bit.
I mean, I would think it's quite high right now because at some point Oregon fans are going to get tired of not winning this thing. But boy, I tell you what, that looks like the sexiest pick in all of America right now is Oregon. I think they are the sexiest college football national championship pick.
That would be 4 straight for the Big Ten with 4 different schools, which would be the most impressive.
I would agree.
More impressive than winning 4 straight is 4 different schools winning 4 straight.
I thought there was always a transitional year when you go from the FCS to the FBS, and that's what North Dakota State has done.
They waived that. They waived that for this group coming in. North Dakota State and Sacramento State are eligible to do anything.
That's a bold prediction, though. Going to the Mountain West, their win total is only 8.5.
Yeah, especially when they're going to lose week 1. They're not going to recover from that loss.
I bet you won't see this again.
To Jacksonville State.
Where is that game, by the way?
Oh, it's in North Dakota. No. North Dakota State's coming to Jacksonville next year. It's a home and home.
No, but that's
in Fargo.
That's a fun, off the radar,
no doubt,
week 1 game,
and a good time of year to go up there. That's our spotlight today, brought to you by Alexander Shunnarah, trial attorney. Michelson Laser Vision gives us our viewing menu today, what Tyler is watching.
Yeah, 205-969-8100, the number I called way back in 2003. Make the phone call today. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. She's going to hook you up with that hassle-free consultation. You have 0 to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. Dr. Mort Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, they are the best in the business. Again, for more information, 205-969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com.
Will you see it for a 4th time?
Not today. My sister wants to see the movie, so I'll go see it with her either this weekend or sometime next week.
Yeah, so basically likely in a 10-day period, you would have seen this movie in-game 4 times.
Yeah, probably about 4 times, and it's Spider-Man Brand New Day, not
Brand New
in-game.
Day,
not
Brand New
in-game.
Day, yeah.
My daughter was watching in-game last night. My youngest daughter, is doing what Tyler's doing, and I didn't even know she cared, but for some reason she's decided to watch all the old Spider-Man movies and then ask me, when I finish them, can we go to the theater and see the new one? I was like, sure. I mean, it's appropriate for kids, right?
It's a great way to go through the movies and prep yourself for the new one.
So she was watching in-game last night when she had that conversation with me.
So I actually skipped Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame in my rewatch because they're not solo Spider-Man movies. Civil War was a Captain America movie, and then Infinity War and Endgame are Avengers.
Gotcha.
So she's going the extra mile.
Okay, I'll let her know.
Yeah, good for her. It's summertime for her.
Right, yeah, she's got nothing else to do.
Hey, have you seen, we had one of our listeners send me the trailer for Primetime, the new A24 film that's coming out with Robert Pattinson as Chris Hansen.
I was about to bring that up as the first recommendation on the viewing menu that isn't a movie at all. It's a trailer recommendation. Go watch the trailer for Primetime.
It is wild,
as Chris Hansen, the Dateline Chris Hansen?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
He nails
He
the
nails
voice
it.
too.
Yeah, he's Chris Hansen, man.
Chris Hansen.
But
he
you know,
walked in and the line that was so well done was you know how this looks, right?
Yes.
And, why do you have Bartles and
chills down my spine?
Why do you have Bartles and James and Reese's cups?
A box of condoms. I don't know.
Do you? I always found it really unsettling. I didn't like watching that stuff.
I did.
Did you?
Yeah. It was just always amazing. Like, I knew this was going to happen. I absolutely knew this was a setup. And he's like, then why did you come here?
Yeah.
It was like, I was just coming to check on her. She's doing stupid things,
But if
you have a bottle of Bartles and James.
I mean, this looks like it's going to be a good one, though.
I'm excited about that, actually.
It looks incredibly well done. For the decoy character on the show, they've cast Skylar Gisondo, who was in Superman as Jimmy Olsen. He was in Vacation with Ed Helms as Rusty Griswold's son. And I think he was in that Booksmart movie that you like.
He was in Booksmart. He had a really badass Camaro that he drove around our Firebird. He was also in what is the very sacrilegious show on HBO that's really, really funny?
Righteous Gemstones.
Yeah. Did you mention that?
I did not.
Yeah. He's definitely got a big part in that. But it's going to drop September 25th in theaters primetime.
Okay.
Yep. So this guy here is playing the decoy that they always have on To Catch a Predator.
Right.
And I think that's an interesting role to be cast as because you've got to cast somebody who is an adult that looks like an adult playing a kid.
That's right. Yeah.
And I think they nailed that.
It's a good cast.
Look young.
Yeah, and he's actually, I mean, for the parts he plays, pretty good actor.
Oh, yeah, solid actor. But that has just quickly been rising up movies I'm looking forward to for the rest of the year. So definitely go check out that trailer.
Couldn't use Sydney Sweeney as the decoy because she's not photogenic, right?
Wow.
Does not look 12.
It would just be a headshot.
Today in theaters, got a new release, Super Troopers 3. I have not seen 1 or 2.
I haven't either. It looks so ridiculous. I saw a trailer again this morning.
I planned on doing a big watch this weekend of 1 and 2, so I could go see it Sunday afternoon at 3.
I gotcha.
Well, they said they're bringing comedy back, though, is how they frame it on the trailer
I
there.
swear the past 5 comedy movies have said that. And they've all been aggressively mediocre.
Yeah, what do you think the score is on this one? It's just a critic score, 23 reviews on Super Troopers 3, which just dropped in theaters.
I'm going to put it at 22%.
I'm going to go, it's in the 40s.
35%.
Okay.
Not great.
I would recommend you skip the second one, but the first one's hilarious.
I only know the...
it really is, Scotty?
Yes, it's funny. It is really funny.
I only know the
it's
one...
stupid funny, but it's funny.
There's one scene where they pull a guy over and they make a bet. It's like, for $20, I'll call that guy a chicken effort. And so the cop walks up to the guy you just pulled over and calls him that.
Is this the one Dan Patrick is a police officer in all of these? Or is that just an Adam Sandler movie? I can't remember
that.
I don't remember Dan Patrick being in it.
Okay.
Hey, very consistent. The original Super Troopers, 37% on the tomato.
All right. So this might be a quality Super Troopers film then. But it'll center around Farva having a wildly over-the-top Indian engagement to Thorny's sister that spirals into chaos. And the Super Troopers must navigate Thorny's schemes to break up the relationship while trying to crack a pernicious new drug ring, all to save the day and maybe the wedding itself. Tomorrow in theaters, you've got early access for a new family movie if you're looking to get the kids out of the house and out of the summer heat. It is early access for Paw Patrol, the Dino movie. The pups crash land on an uncharted island, meet a stranded pup named Rex, and try to stop Mayor Humdinger from triggering a volcanic eruption. And the cast, for some reason, is McKenna Grace, Terry Crews, Snoop Dogg, Paris Hilton, and Bill Nye the Science Guy.
One of the I miss the kids being really young, but I don't miss going to those shitty movies.
Paw Patrol.
Yeah, I don't know what the plot of Paw Patrol is, but there was like Iron Man-esque suits for the dogs in the trailer and volcanic eruptions and dinosaurs. I don't know what's going on, but it looks extremely overstimulating compared to what I used to watch at that age. There's limited showings for a new movie called The Samurai and the Prisoner, which follows rebel warlord Lord Murashige Araki, who is besieged in his stronghold by the army of the tyrant Oda Nobunaga. Facing internal paranoia and a potential traitor, he forms an uneasy alliance with a brilliant rival strategist whom he keeps locked in the castle dungeon. I've heard good things about this in the limited screenings it's gotten from bigger markets than ours, so I may go try to see this if it's playing anywhere near here. And if it's not, I'll be going to Tubi to continue my journey into the Pooniverse with Bambi the Reckoning. A car wreck strands a mother and son in the deep woods where a mutated, vengeful deer stalks them. As local hunters and an obsessive grandmother converge, the forest becomes a bloody arena for a grieving creature's primal rage.
The Pooniverse?
Yeah, it's the Winnie the Pooh cinematic universe where it's like Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
I'd be careful Googling Pooniverse.
Yeah. But that is, I believe the official name is the Twisted Childhood Universe, but I just prefer calling it the Pooniverse. Because one of the next movies coming up in that franchise will be one where all the villains from the other movies unite. And it's called Pooniverse, Monsters Assemble.
Oh, wow. Can't wait.
And that's all I got.
That's what Tyler's watching. Longest Yard. Dan Patrick was in that one. When we come back, we will get to a little bit more of the sports conversation on the show. Jake Butt joins the show in our 40 and 40, which is Michigan in the final hour of the show. Brought to you today in part by our friends at Central State Bank.
That is the bank that is big enough to meet every single need you have. They're large enough to meet all those needs, small enough to know you at Central State Bank. Anything from buying your first car to starting your own business, Central State Bank is there for you. It's a community bank. Why is that important? Because you're dealing with people that are in your community. Those are the people making the decisions that will impact your life at Central State Bank. And that is so important if you've never dealt with a local community bank. But it's a bank that is still big enough to meet every single need you have. They are small enough to know you, community focused. It's Central State Bank. Central State Bank, member FDIC.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
You know, sometimes injury attorneys get a bad rep, being called ambulance chasers, showing up to the accident scene before the EMTs get there. At Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys, this ain't that. We get enough cardio, no need to chase ambulances. Look, if you're injured in any type of accident, don't accept a dime from the insurance company. Hit up the gators of the litigation situation. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys. Call 659-777-7777 or AlexWins.law.
Call me, Alabama.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Never miss anything from the next round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you catch every part of the next round. Listen anywhere in the world at any time on the Next Round podcast feed, and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Thanks for always making the next round a big part of your day.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing. The 2026 Yellowwood 500 weekend is returning to the Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 23rd through Sunday, October 25th. The triple header chase weekend at Talladega features 3 days of high-intensity racing across 3 series, capping off with the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Guarantee your spot now by visiting TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. And enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience, the most immersive in NASCAR. 877-GO-TO-DEGA or TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
We'll get to the top of the hour here in a second. Short segment brought to you in part by our friends at Hemphill Services, heating, cooling, and plumbing issues. Tell us about that.
Yeah, again, I had a friend's daughter reach out to me this morning. AC went out last night. I heard you talking about Hemphill. Who do I call? I was like, Andrew's the guy. He's already there. It was, 7 this morning. 205-229-2090. She called Andrew. They're going to be out at noon today. Whether you experience any of the plumbing or cooling issues, home or business, they're ready to serve you. Hard to stop a train. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Tell them the next round sent you. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
Auburn no longer has the biggest video screen in all of college football, at least according to the folks at Illinois, who has put their new big screen in at their stadium. Look at that massive thing at the end of that stadium.
Huge.
17,000 square feet, and they say it is significantly larger than the one at Auburn, which was the biggest in college football.
I mean, the only,
it's as big as that press box.
Throw another couple of games on there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so I can watch some games while I'm at the game.
That was one of the cool things about SoFi is they've got, it's not the ribbon. It's almost like they've got 50 different massive screens above showing all the games.
Yeah.
This is before the game.
I know they don't like doing that, but that would get me, well, you're not going to get me in the stands, but I think for a lot of people to get them in the stands if they could come in and watch some of the early games.
Vanderbilt unveiled some alternate unis this year. They're going to have an all-gold uniform. I don't know if it's a one-game, one-off, or multiple ones, but Vandy drops an all-gold uniform.
I like that.
I hate it because the helmet and the uniform are a different color.
Well,
I can't stand when you don't match them up.
I do dislike that part.
No, when you're not a traditional football program like Vanderbilt, I really don't have a problem with the alternative uniforms. I don't hate it. It looks like very Georgia Tech-ish.
Yeah.
Forrester, you got a feel for this one?
Hate them.
Why do you hate them, Scott?
They're ugly, man.
I mean, what's ugly about you? You just don't like the color?
Yeah.
See, I don't dislike that color for Vandy. I like that all gold. I think it's a pretty sharp uniform right there. Now, I do agree with you.
It doesn't even look gold to me.
It's a little mustardy.
Yeah.
It's weird that it doesn't say Vanderbilt on it.
Yeah, like if Purdue was to do this because they're a program of championships, you probably don't want to flip this. But for Vanderbilt, I don't necessarily have a problem.
Yeah, I'm with you guys behind the glass about that's not even gold. It's almost like muddy water. What color is that? Muddy water.
I don't hate it.
What color is that? Latte.
I'm with you.
What color is a latte?
It's caramel. I'm with you. I don't like the fact that the helmet doesn't match well. That you got to get that matched up. I'm with you on that, Dunaway. But the concept I like.
You got to get that right. A couple of losses in college football. In one edition, big loss for your USC Trojans. I don't know if he's on the Rams draft board or not, but center Killian O'Connor is down for the season. Torn ACL. He was the starting center. We know how important that is, and that is it was a non-contact, so literally a first misstep for this USC program that is hoping to be a playoff team.
Yeah, look, and the leader of that offensive line, and if you go back last year with the improvements, not only on the defensive side, but their ability to run the football. And I think when Oklahoma was really, you had all these Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks, but they ran the football so effectively. And finally, USC got that last year, and you just wonder how much this is going to affect them moving forward. Something you don't need with that schedule and with the expectations where they are, and the fact that Lincoln Riley literally has to make the playoffs this year.
Steve Belichick, who is Bill's son, defensive coordinator at North Carolina, earlier this week was announced that he was away from the program indefinitely for medical reasons. Of course, a lot of rumors on the internet, none of them are true. Bill Belichick confirming yesterday it is a true medical situation. But people were trying to tie this into the general manager also being not part of the program right now for other reasons, more of an HR reason. But Belichick saying that his son truly is dealing with a medical issue, time of his return. If he's returning, he would not get into any of that, what the illness is or any of that. But that is a setback because that is your defensive coordinator there at North Carolina.
Such a messy situation, and it has been from the jump. Like, if Belichick could go back, I know the guy really wanted to coach, but do you think he is regretting this stop in Chapel Hill?
I think if he were honest with you, yes. I think he's probably egotistical enough to think he can pull this out of the fire. But I think if you said, all right, just evaluate from day one to now, do you regret this? I think he probably honestly would tell you yes.
With their schedule, 6-6 is the best you can hope for, I think.
I mean, you and Scott both have had, and I know it would have been weird, Belichick going to the Dolphins, the AFC East, but you guys have both had coaching changes over the last couple of years. I mean, would you want Belichick? I know Belichick wanted to coach again in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say no to that because of his level of success. He is a completely unlikable guy, but I don't have to like my coach. If my coach wins, that's all that matters. Like Dunaway and I early on, Mike McDaniel was on the screen when I first got here. And he's, hat on backwards, sunglasses in an interview. And Dunaway's like, that is not what you want your head coach to look like. I said, you know what? It didn't bother me when we were scoring 70 points on the Denver Broncos.
Back to Alabama and Auburn camp here after Brownie tells us about the fine folks at McCurry Car and Truck Rental.
Yeah, that is the place to go when you need to rent your vehicle. Listen, with football coming up, maybe you're planning one of these out-of-town road trips to go see your team play. They've got the vans, those big passenger vans at McCurry that can fit everyone. Throughout North Alabama, their aim is to make it very, very easy on you, easy in, easy out, easy to rent at McCurry Rentals. McCurryRentals.com to see more. McCurryRentals.com. Trucks, SUVs, passenger vans in Athens, Muscle Shoals, Huntsville, Coleman on 2nd Avenue Northwest, and in Tuscaloosa. Reserve your rental today. 256-559-1003 or McCurryRentals.com.
At Alabama camp, they continue to get ready, working towards that first scrimmage next week, getting ready for the season coming up. And a lot of love over there for just the attitude. I mean, you see every day it seems like Alabama's on First Take or Get Up. People are just bashing Kalen DeBoer. Here's the message from Kalen DeBoer to this Alabama Crimson Tide team.
Keep working. I mean, we've talked about working in silence since January, and these guys just doing their thing, not getting caught up in anything they can't control. We know what our goals are. We know what our expectations are. We've never shied away from that. We go attack the day, and the challenge for us right now is to continue to just become one. And that's been our theme here going into camp, is just uniting. It's 11 guys on offense, 11 guys on defense, special teams, but also as a whole program, just having each other's back. And so that's the challenge that we got to continue with so many guys in the program. I've been pleased with it, but we got to be great because there's some big time moments that are going to be coming our way, being with the schedule you have and that's going to happen in college football. So we got to be ready, be prepared, know how we're going to respond.
Working in silence. I sort of like that phrase there. So that's Kalen DeBoer's message to the team as they continue to work in camp. People forget down at Auburn, by the way, as you see the Alabama guys working there, that their defense is pretty dang good. DJ Durkin is back there, cut 14 Tyler, if you will. Down at Auburn, when they're not at the spa at the Grand National, they're on the practice field there on campus. And as you heard, they work. They go on buses from the Grand National back to on campus, and they use the on-campus facility and all of that. You have not just Xavier Atkins on defense. You have Crawford and Autry down on the defensive line who really need to step up. And you got DJ Durkin back. Here's DJ Durkin talking about being back at Auburn and working now with Alex Goelsh.
It's been tremendous, to be honest with you. I've enjoyed this whole process and being able to stay here. The number one thing for me is being able to stay here with the guys that I've been able to be part of the recruitment and coaching. Like that means a lot to me. You build relationships, and to not have to walk away from those. Sometimes we all know like that happens, and you have no say or control over it. So to be able to continue those relationships with a lot of guys in the room is critical for me. AG has been awesome. He's been great to me personally, and I think great with this program. He has a very clear vision of how he wants things. He does an elite job of communicating those things to the coaches and players. And I think you just see it in our team right now. I think we're a team that's really bought in, and the connectivity of our team I think is really critical, and he's been the leader of that. And so it's been awesome.
The people talking from camp have been talking about tempo on offense and the demand that is. All of a sudden, though, and we've seen this happen where Golesh was at Tennessee before this with the Heupel offense, and at times what Gus tried to do when you go tempo, sometimes it makes it harder on the guy we just heard from, the defensive coordinator.
You're going to stress them out. Like, I think the one given is that coming into the season, Auburn should be really, really solid defensively. But again, this is a completely different thing. And you mentioned Malzahn. When he first came into the fold, the tempo was so different. I think a lot of places caught up with him. But Golesh is another level with the amount of plays they want to run. And we brought this up a few weeks ago. I mean, there's going to be 3 and outs that literally you look up at the clock, 18 seconds has come off the clock.
And that's a unit that gave up 23 points a game in conference last year. I think, 20 led the conference with Oklahoma and Alabama. They were right at 20. So that's not that far off from the conference lead. I think your expectation is, even with the added tempo that gets you on the field quicker, I think DJ Durkin would take that over the anemic offense he all too often got from Hugh Freeze.
Exactly.
I mean, at least score me some points. Even if I got to be on the field more, at least give me some points. There were so many games where DJ Durkin was coaching a defense that simply could not give up one big play. If they gave up one big play, the game was over because Auburn's offense couldn't do anything.
Interesting thing, Lane Kiffin, I would imagine, is you do this when you're a new coach anywhere. Sometimes you have to clean up some things that the previous coaching staff or administration did. And Lane Kiffin this week had to clean up something. Brian Kelly and the coaches that were there at LSU before him had promised DJ Pickett, when he was being recruited, that he would get to wear jersey number 5 at LSU. Well, nobody's wore jersey number 5 at LSU since Jaden Daniels won the Heisman Trophy. But Lane Kiffin made a point this week to give jersey number 5 to DJ Pickett. He says, listen, I wasn't here, but apparently I've talked to his parents, I've talked to him, I've talked to other coaches who knew what was going on, and I believe the kid really was promised that he would get to wear number 5 when he got here, and then when he got here, for some reason, he didn't get to wear number 5. So he's going to wear number 5 this year. So DJ Pickett going from 3 to 5 now this year to make up for what was a recruiting promise. He was number 5 when he was in high school and wanted to keep that number. And Lane says, I don't know what was going on. Well, for the record, I don't think anybody's wore number 20 or number 9 in recent years since Burrow won the Heisman, number 9. Billy Cannon won the Heisman at 20. Pickett wore it at 5. It looks to me like at some point last year they were deciding we're pulling these off the shelf and we're going to retire those jerseys, and nobody's going to wear them anymore.
I think we all agree on this. Retire jerseys, don't retire numbers. I think it would take a special player to be able to capture those numbers again. That, to me, that's the best uniform in the SEC, though.
Yeah, I do like that one. When he wears that,
I mean,
that white jersey.
The Texas whites are up there, but man, that is a tough one to beat.
It's a good looking uniform, and they wear it a lot because they wear it home and road.
Final hour of the show coming up, being brought to you today by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision LT. Tell us about Michelson, and we'll get to Jake Butt here at the top of the hour.
Yeah, Dr. Mark Michelson, the first to perform the LASIK procedure in the state of Alabama way back in 1995. I got the procedure done in 2003. I've still got the 2015 vision, better than 2020. Make the call that I made, 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy. She's going to schedule that hassle-free consultation. You got nothing to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. 205-969-8100 for more information. Michelson Laser Vision.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at Scott Forrester TV.
Dump trucks, delivery vans, tankers, 18-wheelers, 35 types of commercial vehicles share the road with you every day. When one hits you, trust me, the company's lawyers are already moving. You should be too. Over $2 billion recovered. Alexander Shunnarah trial attorneys are ready to fight for you. Call 659-777-7777 or visit alexwins.law for your free case evaluation. Don't wait. Alexander Shunnarah trial attorneys, 659-777-7777. alexwins.law. Physical offices, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats all in one place, nextround.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know, you might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all of your favorite Next Round gear by visiting nextround.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at nextround.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from nextround.store. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
The 2026 Yellowwood 500 weekend is returning to the Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 23rd through Sunday, October 25th. The triple header chase weekend at Talladega features 3 days of high-intensity racing across 3 series, capping off with the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Guarantee your spot now by visiting TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. And enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience, the most immersive in NASCAR. 877-GO-TO-DEGA or TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Our 40 and 40 countdown voted on by you, our listeners and viewers. One team every day until we kick off the season. We go to number 16 today. And that's another Big Ten powerhouse, the team that started this Big Ten run, the Michigan Wolverines. Our 40 and 40 countdown brought to you by Hoover Toyota, hoovertoyota.com.
A new or pre-owned, whether you're in the market for a truck, car, or SUV, stop in, see our friends right there at Hoover Toyota. Scott and all the guys, conveniently located Highway 150. For more information on that inventory, hoovertoyota.com.
We will talk some Michigan. It's a Big Ten with Jake Butt. Michigan great, now Big Ten Network with us now. Welcome in, Jake. How are you?
Doing great, guys. Appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, thanks for coming on with us. Jake also tells me via text, listening to our last segment, he has an amazing DJ Durkin story. So we'll save that for the end. We'll close with a DJ Durkin story.
Don't forget.
I will not forget. I will make sure we do that before Jake
I won't let you.
Yeah,
it's good.
It's a good one,
yeah.
He says. I like this tease.
Hey, before we get into Michigan, can I ask a question real quick? I mean, going back to your playing days, I mean, we never even talked Indiana football. Like, the three of us had done a show together for 17 years. I literally think up until Sig took this thing over, we didn't mention Indiana football. Like maybe a handful of times.
Once.
There was nothing to mention.
There wasn't. But going back, I mean, how bad did you guys beat those guys? And do you remember ever playing in Bloomington, and how terrible were the crowds?
Surprisingly, Indiana used to play us really closely. We had some battles. They'd play Ohio State closely. They had a real up-tempo offense. They'd gas you out. It was kind of like a trap game. You'd overlook them. We were in triple overtime with them. I want to say 2015. Yeah, 2015, my junior year. Our quarterback got injured my senior year, and we played him under the snow. That came down to the wire. So we were in some battles. Crowd was never a reason for that. It was always like a home game. I remember, I grew up in Columbus. I was an Ohio State fan. My dad took me to a road game, Ohio State versus Indiana, and the crowd was sold out, but they were doing OHIO around the stadium there with the Hoosiers. So programs come a long way, man. Shout out to Cignetti. I think they're ranked way too low at number 6. I think they're ranked way, way too low. I think we got to learn our lesson, man. We can't continue betting against Cignetti and that staff. I wouldn't be shocked to see him repeat.
And they keep getting these additions. After you got Daly as a fifth-year guy, they get Kellen Wyatt back. They're just adding pieces, good pieces. That makes a difference, right? The continuity of bringing these veterans back, right?
It's continuity top down. I mean, it's they win the Natty undefeated, and they keep their whole staff together. The staff that's been together for basically a decade. It's a veteran roster with which some people complain about and use that to downplay Indiana's success. But everybody's got the same 24 hours. I think Cignetti's figured this system out. And for Daly and Wyatt, both those guys were injured last year. Daly led the Big Ten in tackles for loss. Injured himself celebrating after the Big Ten championship. I think both those guys would be in NFL camps, but they had serious injuries in the offseason. So now it's a win-win. They get to come back to Indiana healthy, hopefully go through the full season healthy, and then live on their NFL dreams. But certainly a big-time get for the Hoosiers. Their D-line is absolutely loaded. Their linebacker unit, even without Aiden Fisher, loaded, much more athletic. So that team is poised to repeat, absolutely.
One of the more fascinating coaching moves was Kyle Whittingham going to Michigan. This is a guy that, fair or not, kind of has been labeled doing more with less than most coaches in football, because I don't think people think Utah has the roster that an Ohio State or an Alabama or a Michigan does. You get him to a place that's got some resources. What is the expectation year one and long term? Because this is an older guy, too, for Kyle Whittingham at Michigan.
I think there's a few layers here. I think it starts with the external. Naturally, he was asked about, the former coach, the athletic director at media days, the Connor Stallions. And I think one of the big advantages with Whittingham is he's like, look, I wasn't here for that. I got a clean track record. So there's a clean break there. And then he defended the players. He's like, look, the players had nothing to do with that. They want to be coached hard. They want to win. That's the number one advantage with Kyle. But in terms of what to expect this fall, you saw it at Utah. I played against Utah. Tough team, win the line of scrimmage, run the football, beat you up. The zero quit in the Utes when I played them, and that's what I would expect from Michigan as well. And of course, I think the big thing we're all wondering is what to expect from the quarterback Bryce Underwood. But I would look to the hiring of Jason Beck as the offensive coordinator, bringing in Coy Detmer to be the quarterback coach. Look at what Devin Dampier did at Utah last year, a dual threat quarterback that thrived in this system. That's going to bring out the talents and potential of Bryce Underwood. And if that's the case, I think Michigan's going to have one of the best rushing attacks in college football. But if Bryce can play some type of complementary football with his arm, this offense should be complete. I think the defense will be elite. The big question, Michigan's got a brutal schedule, but this team, no doubt, is going to be significantly better with Kyle's leadership.
Jake, I've told the story before. You obviously haven't heard it, but we did an On3 event a couple of years ago, and they brought in the top 50 recruits. Bryce Underwood was one of those guys. We were at the W Hotel out by the pool. I was asking one of the guys that put the event on, like, who is the alpha here? And he was like, it's this guy, Bryce Underwood. LSU and Michigan are battling back and forth. A little bit later, I see this guy walk out with this big chain. He looked like a fifth-year NFL quarterback or fifth-year NFL linebacker maybe.
Tight end.
Yeah, and I was like, that's the guy you're talking about, right? Because he just had this aura about him. And when I watched him last year, he seemed raw. He seemed like he didn't have confidence. Where's his headspace right now as far as you know?
Well, he showed flashes too. We can't deny. I mean, it wasn't all bad. Kyle, he won 9 games. You don't just sleepwalk into winning 9 games in the Big Ten, especially with the mess that was the coaching staff last year. I think the context of this matters. He walked on campus as a 17-year-old, played all last season as an 18-year-old. He turns 19 mid-August. We all know some of the biggest steps of growth in your life occur from 17 to 18 to 19 to 20 as a human being, let alone a football player. The talent is undeniable. I think the fact that the staff is going to use his legs in the running game is going to add to his confidence. And a confident Bryce Underwood is going to be dangerous for college football because he's absolutely capable of doing anything you want him to do on the field. I really am betting on this coaching staff being the ingredient that allows Bryce to take a major step forward. Again, here's the one thing I'm curious about. You play Oklahoma, Iowa, Oregon, Indiana, and Ohio State. Those could be 5 of the top 10 defenses in college football. So I think there's a real world scenario where Bryce improves, Michigan improves, and maybe they still don't win as many games as they did last year just because the schedule is brutal. But I am all in that Bryce Underwood is going to take a big step this fall under this coaching staff.
To your point on schedules, Michigan's lost 9 games the last 2 years, but they've been to really good football teams. Texas, Ohio State, USC, Oklahoma last year, Indiana, Oregon, Illinois, Washington, and Texas the year before that. The difference is in 24, Michigan beat Alabama, Ohio State, USC. Last year, the best win was what? Washington. What there are opportunities there. What has been the difference since that national championship run in 2023 in your opinion? What has separated the last 2 Michigan teams from that one that was unbeatable in 2023?
Coaching. I mean, it's the way Indiana was able to turn their program around with Cignetti. We've seen it across college football. If you get the right coach, that can change the trajectory of your program. It happened with me, with Brady Hoke. My first 2 years, we were 7-6, 5-7. In comes Jim Harbaugh, and we got back-to-back 10-win seasons. The Michigan hired a guy in Sharon Moore that was way in over his head. He hadn't earned the right to lead a program like Michigan. Okay, fire, move on. Now you go get Kyle Whittingham, who is a Hall of Fame coach in the flesh. He will be in the College Football Hall of Fame one day. And with his leadership, this program is going to take a major stride forward. There's no doubt in my mind. Again, like this roster is talented. Jay Hill is a great defensive coordinator. There's going to be a brand of football where we all say, okay, that's what Michigan football is supposed to look like. They're going to run the heck out of the ball. The offensive line is deep. They maybe have the best running back duo in all of college football. Special teams has been a major issue. That'll be much better this year. So across the board, you're just going to see a different energy. We're going to turn on the film and be like, that's a disciplined, tough, hard-nosed football team, which is what we've come to expect from Kyle. And to you guys' earlier point, this roster is significantly more talented than anything he's used to at Utah. So I think that's a perfect marriage in that sense.
I saw last week where former Michigan coach Sharon Moore put his house up for sale. Down here, we had no idea with the scandal until the scandal broke. Was the Paige Shriver, Sharon Moore relationship one of the worst kept secrets? I mean, did most of the media guys involved with the program know this was going on?
Yeah, I think everybody had strong suspicions. I think everybody, if they were betting, said absolutely this was going on. But over the summer, the athletic department asked both of them. They called them both into the office independently. They said, hey, is this going on? Sharon denied it. Paige denied it. And that's where some of the complexity happens is, hey, they gave them both the opportunity to come clean and they both strongly denied it. You need real proof to pursue these things because it's a risk to fire someone without the proof. Ultimately, we all saw the story and the way it happened, and it's really unfortunate. One of the darkest days in Michigan football history. Really, really disappointing. Again, that's why you go out and get a guy like Kyle Whittingham with a clean record, good soul, great leader, proven track record. Thankfully, I'm ready to move on. Honestly, I'm ready to move on. I'm happy that Kyle's there because I think we're all ready to move on.
Michigan great Jake Butt with us, Big Ten Network. He's on the Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys Hotline. One team that is on Michigan's schedule, I want to ask you about this team, though, is Penn State. I think the three of us here are bullish on Penn State because we respect Matt Campbell, and we look at that schedule and say, boy, it's a manageable schedule for a Big Ten team. Are we missing something there? I mean, do you share that same attitude about Penn State?
Absolutely. Schedule matters. I mean, this isn't like the NFL. There is serious schedule discrepancies across the Big Ten, the SEC, across the college football landscape. Penn State, they got lucky year one with Matt Campbell. Maybe that Penn State team last year with James Franklin, if James Franklin had this year's schedule, he might still be coaching. Yeah. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. Penn State season is going to be defined by two games. It's that Michigan game and that USC game. Even they could lose both of those, have 10 wins. That probably is good enough to get them into the college football playoff. But if you split those games, they're absolutely into the college football playoff. And that would be so positive for the early momentum of the Matt Campbell era. They went out and got Danton Lynn, defensive coordinator, plucked him from USC. I respect him. The pass rush is going to be the key. I think they lost, I want to say 7 of their top snap getters in the front 7 from last year. So knowing Danton Lynn's defense is really reliant on an elite pass rush and disruptive front, that'll be the key for me that I'll be watching on our camp tours. What does that defensive front look like, and are they going to be able to compete against Michigan and USC?
Those camp tours begin on the Big Ten Network tomorrow. I think you guys headed to Wisconsin. Is that right about that? Am I right about that?
Yeah, they're doing the West Coast schools right now.
Okay.
But I'll be heading up to Wisconsin, tomorrow.
Yeah, the irony, you brought it up. We previewed Penn State yesterday. Our voters had Penn State ranked yesterday. And the irony is this was a tailor-made James Franklin schedule. Like, James Franklin would have thrived in this schedule. And now he doesn't get to coach it.
Yeah. Hey, you know, and sometimes the stars have to align, and you got to take advantage of it. The flip side is there would be real disappointment if this team only wins 7 or 8 games. You know, we really don't know. The positive is manageable schedule, but that also adds to the pressure for Matt Campbell to go out there and get those wins.
Jake, if we fast forward 4 months and Jade Maeva was the first team all Big Ten quarterback, what does that mean for USC?
I wouldn't be shocked at all. I mean, that's what we've come to. He could win the Heisman, and I don't think that would be the deciding factor of USC's season. This is what Lincoln Riley does. All of his quarterbacks put up great stats. They're going to score points. The deciding factor for USC is the trenches, the offensive and defensive line. I heard you guys talking about they just lost their center. That's brutal. That is a brutal spot to lose, probably the most important spot across the offensive line other than left tackle. But the trenches will decide the Trojan season. Where they've struggled is road games and finishing close games. And how you win on the road and finish close games is by controlling and dominating the line of scrimmage. Maeva could win the Heisman, and it won't matter if the defensive line isn't disruptive, if they're not getting after opposing quarterbacks and creating negative plays, and if they can't run the ball and control the line of scrimmage on the road. That's much more important to this season for USC, in my opinion. They travel over 12,000 miles. They travel the most miles of any Big Ten team this year. They got high expectations. I know they love their roster, but Lincoln has to prove that he can win going eastward across multiple time zones.
In our 17 years, we like to point out altitude games a lot. You played for the Denver Broncos. How real are altitude games?
Oh, really real. Really real. My first experience was Jim Harbaugh's first game. We went out to play Utah, and there was some whispers about the altitude, and Jim called us up in a team meeting. He's like, guys, I hear a lot of talk about altitude. He's like, I'm here to tell you, it's not real. It's not real. Then we got guys on the sideline. We had a guy with sickle cell that was like almost, I mean, it was a serious situation on the sideline. Guys were sucking oxygen. Altitude is absolutely real. I was in great shape coming out of every offseason. I would train in San Diego, and then when I'd get back to Denver, it took you 2 or 3 weeks to acclimate. Big advantage if you play at altitude for your programs.
All right, Jake Butt was a tight end at Michigan, and part of the 2015 coaching staff was defensive coordinator DJ Durkin, now at Auburn. Jake tells us he has a great DJ Durkin story. The stage is yours.
Goes back before that.
Okay.
My high school coach coached DJ Durkin back in high school as well, and they were getting ready to win a state championship. DJ Durkin was the team captain. All they needed to do, they drove the ball down. They were going to kick like a 40-yard field goal to win. The opposing team called a timeout, so the kicker comes back to meet with my head coach. All of a sudden, DJ Durkin comes flying off the sideline. He knocks my head coach out of the way, grabs the kicker by the face mask, and said, "If you miss this, I will effing kill you." Is that what? Thankfully, the kicker made it. So I don't know. Maybe that's kind of led on to DJ's, personality. He's a true defensive guy. But I just laughed. My coach told me that when DJ got hired, and then I got to know him. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
That tracks.
That's DJ Durkin.
That tracks. Yeah.
The kicker is not who you really want to put into that vice like that right before a big kick, right? Oh my goodness.
He made it. They won the state so it worked.
Yeah.
How far was the kick?
40.
I think like 40 yards, I want to say.
Wow.
So not a chip shot.
Not a chippy for in high school for sure. Yeah.
Especially.
That is crazy. All right, Jake Butt, he is starting his part of the tour on these East Coast Big Ten schools, so see that on the Big Ten Network. Jake, we always appreciate the time, man. Great stuff.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. At some point, we got to do an SEC Big Ten debate, though, right? That's been the hot topic of the offseason.
No
so
doubt.
hopefully I can join you guys and we can go back and forth with that on another show.
Oh,
would you
happily do it.
Big Ten to win national championship this year or Field?
What's that?
Big Ten to win national championship for the 4th consecutive year or the Field?
Oh, that's a great question. There's like 7 or 8 teams that can do it. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Indiana, Oregon, or Ohio State that wins it. But I like Georgia, I like Texas, I love Notre Dame. I really like Indiana. I love that coaching staff. I love their roster. And then in the postseason, like the talent, there's not a big talent discrepancy. So what's the difference? It's the coaching staff, your ability to scout and implement game plans. And I've learned I'm not betting against Cignetti. So my pick would be the Hoosiers to go repeat.
And where are you on Kalen DeBoer as a head coach, a former Indiana assistant himself?
Look, I think he's a great head coach. I think he was put into a tough situation following Nick Saban. Back when I was playing, Alabama had a resource advantage over the rest of college football. It's just the truth. And nowadays, Alabama doesn't. I mean, they got plenty of resources. I see they're spending NIL with the best of them, but they're not number one. They're not number one, which makes it a much more challenging mountain to climb for DeBoer. They got to find a way to run the ball, though. It's the same thing as USC. Like, you got to run the ball to be able to play complementary football to win at the highest level. Indiana and Miami both had dominant rushing games. Michigan had that when they won. Ohio State had that when they won. Alabama, got to run the ball. Got to run the ball. There's got to be a toughness to that football team for them to reach their full potential.
Follow Jake on Twitter at JBooty88. At JBooty88 is where you find him. Jake, thank you, buddy. Have a great weekend.
Anytime, guys. Take care.
All right, buddy. Take care. Jake Butt with us on the Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys Hotline.
And the show being brought to you by Central Alabama Asphalt. They bring you 4 downs every day. Tell us about Central Alabama Asphalt.
You ride those roads of Alabama, you're going to see some road work. There's a good chance when you see those federal, state, municipal jobs, you're seeing our friends from Central Alabama Asphalt doing those jobs. They do a bunch of them. Now, it might tell you that they don't have time for your smaller job, like a parking pad, a driveway, a parking lot for your church, community center, whatever. No, sir. They've got plenty of time for that. They've got an entire division based on those jobs. Same crews, same quality, same no excuse standards, no matter the size of the job. Highways to neighborhoods, get your estimate at Central Alabama Asphalt. 205-349-0910, 205-349-0910, or centralalabamaasphalt.com.
And we start with first down.
Yeah. So our preview team today, the Michigan Wolverines, if I asked you over the next 3 years, which coach coming from a lesser Power 4 school will have more success at the Blue Blood program they took over? Will it be Kyle Whittingham at Michigan or the team we previewed yesterday, Matt Campbell at Penn State?
Well, you guys go with Penn State's schedule, so I think Whittingham will do a better job coaching. I think Michigan will be a better team than Penn State, but with the schedule, the record may not be the same.
I'm talking about next 3 years.
Oh, next 3 years.
Jim, I
don't think Whittingham will be there for all 3 of them, but I will take Michigan and Whittingham.
Whittingham is 67 years old, but when you look at him, he looks like he's 50.
A young 67. He's young like 67.
I mean, he definitely could coach for as long as he wants, and I kind of disagree. I think he's going to be there 3 to 5 years.
I think Whittingham's the better of the 2 coaches, and I think he's the better of the 2 programs. So, therefore, I'm going to go Kyle Whittingham. Do you guys agree? You think Whittingham's a better coach than Matt Campbell?
I do. 12 losses in 5 years over 2 coaches for Michigan, and they've lost no game that would be considered a bad loss in that time. You know what I mean?
No.
I gave you the 9: Texas, Ohio State, USC, Oklahoma, Indiana, Oregon, Illinois was good, Washington, Texas, then unbeaten in 23. In 2022, the only game they lost was TCU in the playoffs. I mean,
it was in the playoffs.
It was in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then before that, in 21, it was Georgia in the playoffs and Michigan State in a rivalry game when State wasn't bad.
Yeah.
That's their losses the last 5 years. They haven't lost one bad game. They haven't lost on the road to Oklahoma like Bama did in DeBoer's first year, or to Florida State like they did last year. They just haven't done that at Michigan. Penn State seems like they've done that. Notre Dame has done that. Michigan hasn't done that. Now, like Butt said, they got a better coach. I'm bullish on this Michigan team.
Yep.
Second down.
David Duchovny, 66 years old. Charlize Theron, 51. David Duchovny, obviously from X-Files fame. Charlize, believe it or not, was in at least one of the Fast and Furious movies. I don't know which one, maybe multiple. But if I ask you, what is the more successful franchise? Is it the X-Files or the Fast and Furious?
Oh, Fast and Furious. Not even close.
Yeah, wow. They said not even close. I didn't know the X-Files.
I mean, if I had to watch one of the two, it would be the X-Files.
I'm sure.
But the X-Files throughout the 90s was like the #1 television show, was it not?
Yeah, it was big, but not nearly as big as Fast and Furious is globally. Those movies make bank overseas, so much so where John Cena became like somehow affiliated with the Chinese Communist Party as like a spokesperson for like PR and stuff. Speaks perfect Mandarin.
How many
That's
years?
how much money they've made.
How many years do you think the X-Files were on television?
I would say 10.
I would say 8.
I'm going to go with 6.
I mean, 5 is a long time for a series run.
It was 11.
11?
Wow.
Yeah. I just remember, I've never once watched the X-Files, but I do remember watching Sunday NFL on Fox, and buddy, they promoted the heck out of it for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, look, and they've got, I mean, how many movies spawned off from that? 3 or 4?
Pat Summerall would say, coming up Monday on the X-Files.
Yeah. I think they're counting 11 because of the 3 years it came back in 16 and 18.
Oh, yeah. That doesn't count.
So it was 9 on the front run?
Yeah, 93 through 2002. So all of the 90s. And I remember for a short period of time it being dominant, but I didn't know it lasted that long. To me, I would have guessed, I remember it for 2 years being a big deal. I thought maybe 4 years.
It just seemed like to me it got promoted all the time during the NFL on Fox, which that's why 9 years of that.
Yeah, I'm just looking at like Emmy or Golden Globe. I mean, here it won. It won a lot of Golden Globes.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'll defer to you. Did you ever watch the X-Files?
I've seen some of it. I would like to go back and watch the whole thing again because I did really like it in high school.
I think it could be the concept today with technology, CGI, budgets. Like if you rolled that out on Netflix and it didn't have the restrictions of being network television, I think you could have something pretty good there.
Even with the Fox, like just primetime budget, there was still an episode that was so disturbing it got pulled from syndication.
What is crazy to show you how times have changed since the 90s. 9 seasons in their original run, and that was 202 episodes.
So they pump some episodes out.
I mean, that's
you do 9 seasons now, you don't even get to 100 episodes.
And especially if you're on streaming, that's 6 to 8 episodes.
If you do 9 seasons of a streaming show now, you may hit 70 episodes.
Right.
But I guess, David Duchovny did Californication after it. I think I saw 1 or 2 episodes of that on Showtime.
Someone in the chat says he's better in that. Jay Cox says he was better in Californication than X-Files.
Yeah, I watched that beginning to end just because it was grittier.
Well, he just chased tail the whole time, right? He was a sex addict in real life.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like he was playing real David Duchovny, but man, I guess that guy's still printing money from syndication from the X-Files.
Yeah.
Third down.
Jalen Hurts, 28 years old today. Kyler Murray, 29. By the way, big celebrity birthday date.
Kyler Murray's only 29.
7th for a lot of athletes.
Oh, really?
Kyler Murray, 29. Jalen Hurts, 28. If both start 17 games this year, who has more total touchdowns? Kyler Murray or Jalen Hurts?
All right, I'm going to do something I have done all offseason to be consistent. I'm going to go with our guy Orlovsky and say Philadelphia has screwed up in their offensive coordinator hire because they've hired a guy that likes to do the stuff Jalen Hurts does not like to do. And
guess what tree he came from?
The big Patriot, I'm sure, who didn't.
Sean Mannion.
And I am going to say that it's a resurgence year in Minnesota. So I'll go with Kyler Murray.
Factoring in rushing touchdowns, I'll go Jalen Hurts. Eventually, you'll get to camp or early in the season, you realize, okay, this playbook, this mid-range passing game is not Jalen Hurts what he's good at. So let's go back to what we were good at.
Jalen Hurts under center drop back is not what Jalen Hurts is good at.
Let's change what you think, offensive coordinator. Let's go back to what the team knows. And I'll say Jalen Hurts with the rushing touchdown.
Yeah, I think Jalen Hurts going to have a good year. Now, he loses his one in A.J. Brown. You wonder if Devontae can slip right into that role. Very interesting when you look at like fantasy football rankings. Devontae's kind of down there for a guy that should get a lot more touches this year. But I think Jalen Hurts going to have a good year. I think Kyler Murray, though, if he plays 17 in Kevin O'Connell's system with Justin Jefferson, I think he can have a massive year.
Yeah,
So
Minnesota,
we'll see.
Minnesota film guys not doing him any credit. Video keeps leaking out of him dropping snaps and fumbling balls and throwing incomplete passes.
You know what's crazy? As good as Arizona looked last night, there was a super cut out on Twitter yesterday. I don't know if you guys saw it, of film from Arizona practices, and they looked atrocious.
Yeah.
I mean, couldn't catch, couldn't throw, fumbled the ball everywhere.
I think that's probably dead on.
Yeah.
Like, I think Arizona will be one of the worst 3 or 4 teams in football.
4th down.
I mentioned big athletes' birthdays on August 7th. How about these heavyweights? Today, 39 years old, Sidney Crosby. Today, 35 years old, Mike Trout. Ultimately, better career, Crosby or Trout?
Unfortunately, because of injuries, it'll be Sid the Kid, in my opinion.
I think championships.
He how many Stanley Cups did?
I think 2.
2 for Crosby.
I would have to check it.
I was going to say 3 for him.
Could be.
But either way,
0
it's more,
for Trout.
it's more than 0.
Yeah.
Which is.
In fact, Sid the Kid's top 10 hockey player of all time.
Oh, is he?
Is what I would say, and I don't think Trout will get that in baseball.
So
is that fair?
I think that is fair. I mean, Sidney Crosby, just looking at it real quick.
Top 10 all time, huh? So
whoever does his Wikipedia does not do him any favors.
Gretzky, Howe, Orr, Lemieux,
Mark Messier.
I'm just naming.
Sid the Kid better than Messier.
Okay.
I mean, he won the Hart twice. He won the Conn Smythe twice.
That probably means
Sidney Crosby 7th in goals scored all time.
Okay.
Messier's 3rd, though. So
That's
I
right.
blew past that.
Better than Messier.
I do think it is easier if we look at championships, and I'm looking for Stanley Cups here. He won 3, 09, 16, and 17.
It's not even really close.
But don't you guys agree it is easier if you have a dominant player in hockey for that dominant player to be able to carry a team as opposed to baseball, especially? Yeah.
Yeah. Gretzky, Yager, Messier, Gordie Howe, Ron Francis, Marcel Dion, Sidney Crosby.
That's the all-time goals.
Oh, I like Marcel Dion being thrown in there.
Yeah. So 7th all time.
And
I think I nailed all the
30
pronunciations
years.
too.
Yeah, I know. I think you did.
What'd you say there, Jeeves?
I said Yager played for like 30 years. He's got games played on his side there.
Yeah, I would agree. With a big old mullet.
And that's it.
That is 4 Downs today, brought to you by Central Alabama Asphalt. This hour always brought to you by Champy's world famous fried chicken, champyschicken.com. Before you pop that up, Forrester, heading over to Greece, did y'all see this? I was texting with Stephen Pearl. Auburn's about to go on a basketball tour over to Greece, taking the whole basketball team and everything. I volunteered to be chaperone and, ball boy.
Shot down?
Yeah,
Got shot down on that?
Steven says he's got plenty of unqualified chaperones. No need to carry another one. Can you imagine being in college and
going to Greece?
Getting to go to Greece?
Oh, that'd be so good.
They will spend 2 days in Athens studying, Athens and everything. They seeing the ruins. And then they go to Mykonos. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, Mykonos.
Mykonos is where they'll actually play basketball in Mykonos.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll be pounding out some ouzo, chasing them Greek women around.
That is fantastic. And also, before you throw the Champions thing up, this is a crazy graphic while we got basketball on the mind. One of them used to play at Alabama, but there are 18 college basketball players who are going to make more money than LeBron James this year.
It's insane.
It shows you the pay cut James took. One of them is Aiden Sherrill. In fact, he's number 1 on this list. 18 college basketball players from the athletic and front office sports that are going to make more money than LeBron this year. What's LeBron making, $4 million?
Yeah, I forgot exactly what the number was, but, massive cut just to fit in with that salary cap.
But still, I can't believe we get 18 players more than that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Now, I'm not a kind of guy that thinks we should shut down and never allow anybody from another country to come play sports in our country. But you start looking and start pronouncing some of those names down through there. I'm a horrible play-by-play guy. I don't pronounce names a lot. But there are some a little European influence in some of the guys who are making $4 million a year.
Yeah. I mean, just looking at some of the names, I think some of these guys were not born and raised here in the United States.
Yeah.
I think that's fair to say.
18 more than LeBron James. Hey, you don't have to pay too much out of the pocket to enjoy Champy's Chicken. Priced exactly right for the spectacular food you get on Highway 119 in Alabaster. Champy'sChicken.com. Go check everything out and find a location near you. But we always want to tell you about the one in Alabaster. That's where Sterling is. It's a destination lunch location. Some of you are on your way down to the beach. You may be coming back from the beach. That Alabaster exit where the traffic really picks up, just stop off and get some great food and get it to go order too. Enjoy it on the road. The hand-cut chicken fingers, the brined overnight, juicy to the bone, fried chicken, and of course the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. It's all right there. Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster.
When a motorcycle accident turns your world upside down, who's going to look out for your family while you're healing? Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys is here for you, fighting for injured riders and getting families the compensation they deserve. The consultation is free. They don't get paid until you do. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys. Call 659-777-7777 or visit alexwins.law. Don't wait. Call 659-777-7777. alexwins.law. Physical office, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champy'schicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Never miss anything from the next round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, turn on automatic download so you can catch every part of the next round. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed, and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
The 2026 Yellowwood 500 weekend is returning to the Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 23rd through Sunday, October 25th. The triple-header chase weekend at Talladega features 3 days of high-intensity racing across 3 series, capping off with the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Guarantee your spot now by visiting TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. And enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience, the most immersive in NASCAR. 877-GO-TO-DEGA or TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Final segment of the show. We'll get to trash in a second. A couple of our great sponsors here. One of them is our friends at Odie's. LT, tell us about Odie's, where live music continues tonight.
Live music tonight and tomorrow night. Both locations, the original and Crestline. Newer location right there in Edgewood. Fantastic food at both, from the award-winning wings, the delicious burgers, great sandwiches like the Diablo sandwich, the Odie's famous cup cocktails, the cold buckets of beer with all of the Bud Light there. Make sure you stop in all weekend long. Go see Will Haver and that great staff. Birmingham Institution, it's Odie 7.
And our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama, 70 years of compassionate care. They'll take care of you. They've got 10 great locations, over 30 of the best urologists in the world, and they are near you to help you as you age from your 20s to your 30s, 30s to 40s, and so on. Go online to find out more details of what they can do for you, prostate health to kidney stones, everything in between. UrologyCentersAlabama.com, UrologyCentersAlabama.com, 205-930-0920 to make the appointment. 1 in 8 men in America will be impacted by prostate health at some point. Early detection can really save your life. Go help it out. Go find out what's happening with you. They'll help you out. UrologyCentersAlabama.com. Off the sheet here. Wonderful home run last night from Ronald Acuna. Bounces it off of two guys' heads as the two Marlins collided in the outfield, and they both did the Canseco, colliding, and the ball hits them and bounces over for a home run for Acuna. Braves and Yankees this weekend, fun series. Fun series for the White Sox as well. Guardian and White Sox with playoff implications on the line this weekend for Forrester's White Sox team.
Boy, brutal loss by them last night.
It was, to the Red Sox, who have won 31 of 36 games. An unbelievable streak.
Yeah, I mentioned it yesterday. They were having 35 days, and now it's extended. The best 35 days in franchise history. And they've been playing baseball for a little while up there.
And they've had some incredible years. And I saw our friend Buster Olney talking about the 3 biggest threats to the Los Angeles Dodgers this morning. They weren't one of the 3 threats.
They were not?
They were not.
Buster doesn't think they can hang on? Or?
Well, I mean, he just didn't list them. He went Cubs, biggest threat, second biggest the Milwaukee Brewers, and third biggest the New York Yankees.
Yeah. Oh, wow. No Tampa Bay Rays.
You've got
the best record in the American League. I mean, we're right there with the Yankees, 4.5 games ahead of them. Matt Olson, by the way, this week, 2 nights ago, passed Stan Musial for most consecutive games played. He is now 32 years old and is now, I think it's 7th on the list, 896 consecutive games. He will go all the way up to 3rd most consecutive games midway through 2028 if he stays healthy and plays in all those games. That would get him to 3rd. Then Lou Gehrig would be next at 2nd. He would have to keep playing every game through 2034 at age 40 to pass Gehrig. And then good luck. He would have to play every game through 2037
to catch Ripken.
Yeah, 43 years old to catch Ripken.
Yeah, I know one or both of you guys discount the Ripken record, but it's amazing.
Oh, it'll never be broken.
No, I don't discount it. Yeah. I marvel at the fact that we celebrated a guy doing literally what he was getting paid to do, which I know nobody else does it, but he's getting paid to play every night, and he played every night.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, how many people don't take a day off in any industry?
Yeah, 896. 97 now, and he's 7th all time, Brown.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible though, that Matt Olson, because
health factors in.
Well,
right?
Health factors in, absolutely, but just double headers, just playing 27 games in 32 days, like.
But if I catch a ball batting off my ring finger and I break that finger and I miss 4 games, my streak's over.
It's
right?
over. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, injury.
It's not games I'm available for.
No, if your wife has a kid in the middle of the season and you decide to leave the team, I mean, anytime you miss that game.
There's an urban legend that the Orioles faked a power outage because Ripken was going to have to miss a game. That's never been proven true, but it is an urban legend.
What is more believable, that or the fact that David Stern bent the corner on the New York Knicks?
I mean, I've seen the video on that.
Getting Patrick Ewing.
I've literally seen the video.
I don't have the name in front of me, but it seems like the next guy on the list, most consecutive games, is like in the 400s. Like there's somebody that's not even halfway there to where Matt Olson is right now.
What was the longest streak in NBA history?
Of consecutive games
played?
Played?
Any idea?
Who do you think that is? Let's see if we can guess who it is.
Okay. I'll go Moses Malone. He had a good long career. Seems like Moses.
I was going to go Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah,
for consecutive games played.
Yeah, we both go big man. I don't know why we both went big man there.
I'll go guard then. I'll go Walt Frazier.
Here we go.
I don't know why Lance and I both went big man. I don't know if it's harder for a guard or a big man. I'm just trying to think of who would.
This makes so much sense. The opposite. Who is the complete opposite of Wilt Chamberlain?
AC Green.
AC Green.
Yep.
Holds the NBA record, 1,192 consecutive games played.
How about that? Two people in the chat got it right away. Barry and Smuff both had AC Green. I did not know he had the record.
He went from 1986 to 2001 without missing a game.
Well, you want to talk one that'll never be broken in the days of load management in the NBA?
Yeah.
I mean, who plays 40 straight games now in the NBA?
Who plays 40 straight minutes?
I know.
I mean, John Stockton is on this list with 609. Basically half.
I almost said Stockton.
Yeah, well, it would have been a good guess.
Yeah. Is Jordan on that list? Did Jordan play a lot of consecutive games?
Oh, this is pretty crazy. Mikal Bridges of the New York Knicks is the active leader right now. He's playing 633 consecutive right now with the workload.
I'm surprised at that.
He cares about the team, man. Yeah. Team first. By the way, Monster Energy, they'll have a car in the NASCAR race. One of the title sponsors on the 23 car, Monster Energy car this weekend. With the Monster Energy logo in Iowa this weekend will be the Big 12 logo.
Of course. Well, I did read that as everybody's discounting that Monster is going to co-brand with the Big 12 on their stuff too. That's part of the value of this. And I'm like, I don't. You go into a store and you buy Monster Energy, you see a Big 12 logo, and you're like, I'll tell you what, I'm going to watch some Big 12 football this weekend.
Yeah.
I just don't know that it works that way.
Truthfully, you know what I'll do? I will put it back on. If I buy it here in Birmingham, I'll think to myself, this didn't sell in Big 12 country, right. And it has now been shipped at a discount here.
That's probably
I'll put it back off the shelf.
Though, if you're in Big 12 country, I don't even know what is their pregame like go to.
I got no idea.
But if there was that, like if you're trying to wake up on a Saturday morning and you continue to see Monster Energy, I mean, it might sell some product.
Well, you're like at tailgates. Don't forget your Tito's and Monster Energy drinks.
I mean, I would make sure
ready for the game today.
As part of my agreement, if I'm Monster, like you have to carry our product in every stadium.
Oh,
and
I would hope. Yeah, I would bet that's part of it.
What do you think the record for NFL most consecutive games? And what position?
Quarterback is the way I would go, and I'm going to say Brett Favre.
Give you this hint: 1988 to 2009.
I was actually going to guess, as crazy as it sounds, one of the Matthews family in offensive line. Seemed like they just played every game.
Jeff Eagles, punter, 352 consecutive starts.
Punter.
Favre made it 299.
Don't even count that.
Don't go punter.
Yeah, Favre's the
Jim Marshall,
real football players.
Big defensive end, made it 282 straight games.
What's the highest non-kicker?
Favre, right?
Favre, 299.
Yeah. That's pretty remarkable, the way he played the game.
So I'm going to count that as a correct answer.
And actually, if you include the 24 playoff games, 323 consecutive starts.
Hey, our friends at Champies gets us to trash. Don't forget, Champies brings you the final hour every day on the show. And at Champies, you can go by there and get a great Bud Light. They also bring you trash as well. Fried chicken, tamales, in-house made sides, in-house made dessert. Let's do it. Tyler, hit it, man.
Do you feel like you're in deep shit?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. The weekend is here. Pick up the cold, delicious taste of Bud Light. Startup has unveiled its underwater living chamber, and they're actually looking for people to test it out. Now, for a lot of people, going underwater, big no-no, especially when it comes to the ocean. They want to leave the water alone and not deal with what might be hiding under the depth of things. However, in the case of Deep, all caps, the ocean engineering and technology company, they have unveiled new under-the-sea facilities that will allow people to have extended stays underwater. I have no desire to do this.
I wonder how long you have to be in it before you convince yourself the water pressure is not going to shatter this thing. I am going to live. Because is it glass?
So let me give you some highlights.
Okay.
Mashable highlighted the new facility in a video August 3rd, noting that it is the first new subsea habitat in 40 years. Now, Deep's pilot habitat system, known as Vanguard, was recently installed off the coast of the Florida Keys, some 60 feet underwater at Tennessee Reef. The area is designated as research only, so you can't go there without permission. Vanguard has living quarters that include 4 bunk beds, tables to eat at, and, of course, bathroom facilities. Now, where does the waste go?
Oh, I would assume into the Tennessee. Is this at the Tennessee River?
No, Tennessee Reef.
Oh.
It's down in the Keys.
I'd imagine right next to the Tennessee Reef.
I would
That's where you
imagine
find the
it's
waste.
washing up either on Cuba or Key West, depending on which way it is blowing.
Now, as per Deep's own website, people can apply for marine research grants on the Vanguard habitat, and successful applicants can stay for a few days. They are equipped for 2 scientists and 2 support staff.
Yeah, this does not appeal to me in the very least.
This is basically the space station just underwater. It's going to
Correct.
be the same everything.
Yeah, and it doesn't look fun.
Man, I'm not like, I'm borderline claustrophobic.
Yeah.
I used to do the open MRIs. I do regular MRIs now, but I would have zero desire to do anything like this.
I would say the fact that you're under all that water is going to make you uber claustrophobic.
Yes.
It's not just
Yeah.
you're in a capsule. You know that you're in a capsule that's in billions of gallons of water.
And then you start knowing, like, I really can't get out of here, like, at the drop of a hat. I might be able to get out of here, but it's going to take some work.
And if it explodes, it's going to explode. It's
That's
going to
right.
pop.
Yep.
And
And I'm gone.
that's going to hurt me too.
What was the submersible that everybody...
The Titan.
Yeah.
It imploded, and experts say that once that happened, it was milliseconds before everybody was just dust.
Yeah, they just got
nobody
evaporated.
felt anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it was, it happened before, people were, the different media organizations were saying, like, oh, they've got X amount of air left, and it was well after they would have popped. So.
Yeah, we watched a documentary on Netflix. I remember Bo was with me. We were down at the lake last year, and it's so boring. Bo was out within 3 minutes, just in one of these recliners, out cold, with Bud Light in hand. And I made it through it, but it was so boring.
But to your point, the implosion also imploded the body. They blew up too.
Yeah, they were dust.
Yeah,
crushed.
69-year-old man in Wisconsin was questioned by police after he flew his helicopter to a store because driving would have, quote, taken too long.
Yeah, I feel you, brother.
Now, as per the Washington County Police Department, a 69-year-old man landed in the parking lot on August 1st, which triggered them to receive a few calls about it. However, when they went and checked on things, they weren't actually needed. Quote, after making contact with the pilot, 69-year-old Rosendale man, deputy learned that he had flown to Cabela's because, in his word, quote, the drive was too long. Now, the pilot was properly licensed, landed safely, complied with all applicable FAA regulations, and took the time to answer the deputy's questions regarding helicopter landing requirements. In the end, no arrests were made, nor had the man actually violated any sort of rules.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know. I mean, I would think it is a courtesy to let Cabela's know I'm going to pull one down in your parking lot.
Because that is going to mess up parking a little bit. It seems like plenty of spots.
But I was just thinking, what is the law against this?
Yeah, and if you had a helicopter, you can't tell me that none of you would just use the helicopter for short trips just to avoid 280 traffic.
Oh, yeah, 100% would.
Yeah.
How good would it be to get back from an Alabama or Auburn football game and not have to deal with traffic?
Yes.
You could actually stay for the ending, make it to the helipad, and then fly back home.
Get home for the late games.
What is a doable helicopter distance? Like, could you go to
100 miles? Right?
could you go to Knoxville without a problem?
Oh yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
Average range of 200 to 500 miles on a single tank.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will tell you this. I did, when I was hosting the Mike Shula show, I did a morning hit at a Talladega race, the fall race, because it was during football season. An organization who worked very close with the University of Alabama, also works very close at protecting you at Talladega, has a helicopter, and Alabama arranged it to where after the 9 o'clock show was over, 9 in the morning, that I got onto the helicopter. They flew me to Tuscaloosa. We recorded the Shula show on Sunday morning is when we recorded the Shula show. They waited on me at the university. I recorded that show. Then I got back on the helicopter and flew back to Talladega to cover that. So, and it was like that. So Tuscaloosa to Talladega.
Very loud though, right?
On race day.
Did you have to wear those headsets?
You had to
like
wear
they
the
do?
headphones to talk. Yeah.
But what would you guess, Talladega, the Speedway to the Alabama football complex, door to door, 30 minutes?
It was less than an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Less than an hour.
Would be convenient.
Yeah.
I don't think I would trust anybody flying me in a helicopter, though. Seems like they've got issues a lot.
Yeah. That was the day I burned my retina, and I think it still bothers me today, my left retina. I thought something had happened on the helicopter because we did do a couple of things with the door open. And I thought maybe a piece of glass or dust or something had blown into it, and that's what was causing the pain. But they'd gotten new lights. Forrester knows the kind of lights. I can't remember. And my guy wasn't trained on it. You weren't supposed to have them at eye level. I wasn't supposed to look into them for 2 hours like I had done that morning.
The old HMIs.
Yep, the HMI light. And it burned my left retina. And it burned Rob Carlin's, who was looking this way in the two-shot, his right retina.
Oh, no.
And they wanted to sue NBC 13. And
Who was they?
Rob.
Yeah.
And
you talked him out of it?
I was like, if we do that, then the guy who was the photographer is going to lose his job.
That's probably true.
Damn, throwing Rob under the bus here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Rob agreed with me. He didn't want the guy to lose his job, so we didn't do it. But, I mean, in hindsight, I sort of wish I'd done it.
I don't know him anymore.
Pizza restaurant in New Jersey has been going viral after a confrontation over a birthday party bringing their own cake, despite claims that they had permission to do so. Now, when you go out to a restaurant to celebrate someone's birthday, you do have to call ahead if you want to set up some balloons, decorations, and even bring your own cake. Some restaurants will allow you to bring your own dessert for free and even supply the candles, but others will charge for it. Posa in L.A. came under fire when a food reviewer revealed they had a $110 cake cutting charge on their bill.
That's pretty hefty now. I've seen it at $25.
Yeah, that's
110.
crazy.
110 is pretty hefty.
Like, what do you charge for?
Well,
what do you charge for cakes there? Like, you know, if you charge $25, if you want to give me that kind of fee, like whatever, I'm not taking business, so I'm not taking $110 of your business away. Now, a clip of the argument you see right here, uploaded by on TikTok. The party was at Joey's Tomato Joint.
I would say this though, Lance. Okay, what if their dessert is say $7? And to me, it would be fair if you've got 9 people sitting at the table, then I could go 7 times 9 plus tax.
But not everybody eats dessert. I think you're kind of obligated to eat some of the cake when it's cut and it's a birthday cake.
But you are eating the dessert in my restaurant at that point.
I get it.
But I also think they've just had their birthday party here, which is probably a pretty big ticket for the pizzas I just sold them. So I'm going to try to work with them
and
on
that's
something.
Another, and they're never going to come back if you do this.
No, I 100%
Everybody in the group.
I 100% wouldn't do it. I wouldn't charge you to do it, but I'm just saying, what is a fair price for it? That's the way I would do it. By the way,
$0.
I had this incident last night. By the way, it had nothing to do with the cake, but I was asked to pick up dinner coming back from the golf course, and I went to I won't even because people will figure it out. But I went to the place to pick it up. It was called in, and it has a to-go window. Mm-hmm. And so I sat there for about 4 minutes, and I realized the person in front of me I hadn't seen anybody stick their head out the window yet to ask that person. So I pulled my truck over and I went inside. And as soon as I get in there are 2 people yelling at the people in there. I mean, one man, one woman, flat out yelling. I was waiting out there for 22 minutes by the window. Nobody ever came in to check on me. And that bell's going off in there. Ding, ding, ding.
What was the place?
I'm not going to tell you the place.
Come on, you threw Rob Carlin.
Rob Carlin's my buddy, and he was right. We should have sued him. I've still got eye problems now. And then
will you go back to this place?
This lady, I don't like this place anyway because it's become chaos and it's overpriced. This lady walks in now and she's screaming that my order is supposed to be ready already at 6:22 and now it's 7 o'clock. And I sneak up. My kids would have hated me for this. I sneak around, both of them yelling, and there's a little kid like 16 years old back there, and I was like, those 3 hamburgers right there, they got Dunaway on them. Can you throw them in a bag and throw our fries in there and let me get out of here? And he's like, yes, sir. And he put ahead of all those people.
That's hilarious.
He threw those 3 burgers in there, threw those fries in there.
Already done the same thing.
Oh God, I just said burgers.
Yeah, I was
God,
about to say, we have at least.
And threw a lot of extra fries on there.
Were all 5 of the guys there making burgers, or just 4 of them? Was that what they were behind?
Don't ever tell me a secret. Don't ever tell me a secret. I tell people that now. I'm like, don't tell me. If you don't want anybody to know, don't tell me.
Oh yeah, when I went out to South Carolina a couple months back,
Is that not supposed to tell anybody?
I told Brown that my sister was getting engaged. I did not tell you that my sister
Oh,
was
okay.
getting
And I
engaged.
appreciate that.
I was about to say, I don't think I tipped that one off.
Like
Okay.
somebody earlier yesterday was going to tell me, hey, I'm going to tell you something about Alabama football, but you can't tell anybody. And I wrote back quickly. I said, do not tell me. I talk Alabama football for a living. I've kept one secret up here for a while now, which was not easy for me to do. But it's just...
that's what I was going to say. There might be an announcement coming sooner than later.
I can't believe you just said that.
No, well, I mean, you would absolutely have no idea. But I was very hesitant about telling you about that.
And when you told me, and I've been very good about not telling people, but I was like, oh my God. And so now I wanted to tell everybody from that second on, but I just like, it's so hard for me to keep a secret. So I literally told that person, do not tell me, because in my head, sometimes I forget what I'm okay to tell and what I'm not okay to tell
the secret.
I haven't been to Five Guys in years.
I did
If that's who it is. If that's who it is.
If the restaurant you were talking about was created by 4 or 5 guys, then any sort of pickup order isn't started until you get there.
Yeah, well, for good reason, because of the fries.
Because they try to make everything fresh.
Yeah, you don't want the fries to be cold. I wanted to tell that loud lady that.
Leads to a lot of angry customers and drivers.
I'm sure. There's nothing worse than cold fries. Finally, a new attraction study has gone viral on X after users began posting personalized reports claiming to reveal their dating, quote, type based on the faces they find most attractive. Now, the survey, created by psychology researcher Spencer Greenberg, asked participants to rate a large number of faces before generating a report about their preferences. According to the Greenberg post, participation surged so quickly that the study's servers have struggled to keep up with demand. Now, the original post, published on July 20th, has already been viewed more than 2 million times, while thousands of users have shared screenshots of their results across X. Now, the report breaks participants' preferences down into several categories. One section, titled Your Main Type, displays 4 faces that supposedly best represent the person's overall dating preferences. Other sections highlight a participant's hidden gem, referring to someone they rated much more highly than other people did, alongside a, quote, unpopular opinion showing someone they like significantly less than the average participant.
God, I would love to do this.
So this 4 is what it spit out for me.
Oh, for you?
Oh, is it really?
Yeah,
Okay.
This is what it says my 4 types are.
All right.
And what is this on?
I had to dig for it because the website's been going down, and then they made a new website. I'll send it to you if you want to take it.
No. I think it would be fun because I wish it was celebrities. Because obviously mine would be Sydney Sweeney would be the last one.
See, you say that, but it also added auxiliary types. This one is just Zendaya for me.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah, so I would go number 3 for you on this one, and I would have gone number 1 on the first one for you.
I think number 1 was the best one on the first one. I agree with Lance on that.
You said number 3 on this pick?
No, number 1 on that pick.
Number 1 on this pick.
Yeah, for
and
you.
Number 3 on this. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, I have a bad taste apparently to you guys. I like 4. I would put 1 at probably number 3.
You went 4 on this?
Yeah, I like 4. I think she's...
Yeah, your eyes are jacked up.
You should have sued.
I go 4, 2, 1, 3 on that one. 4, 2, 1, 3.
Okay, that's all I got.
That is Trash Today, brought to you by our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy, and that's our show today. Don't forget you can get Talladega tickets. Coming up October 25th, Yellowwood 500, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Tickets available. Garage experience upgrade gets you really close to the action. Camping's there. They got all the fun. They got a concert coming up. You can get all the details. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Last weekend with no football.
That's right.
So we had it last night. It was fun. Nothing this weekend. And then we are football starting next Thursday all the way through the Super Bowl. So that'll be fun. 22 days away from the start of the college football season in our Innisfree countdown to kick off. 22 days. Your game day tradition is Innisfree. We are back with you on Monday at 9 a.m. Central Time. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.